It's time for 2017 Kutztown University Golden Bear football on the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR. Today's game is brought to you by KUR and the corporate partners of Kutztown University Athletics and is a presentation of the Golden Bear Network. Now, let's head live to the booth for all of the Kutztown University football action right here on KUR.
You're listening live from Danny Hale Field at Robert B. Redmond Stadium in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, the campus of Bloomsburg University. The sound of the Kutztown University marching unit in the background today. It is a PSAC East matchup and a big one for the Kutztown University Golden Bears as we hit the mid-season point at halftime today. The Golden Bears at 3-2, 1-1 in the PSAC East will take on the Bloomsburg Huskies, who are 4-1 and 2-0 in the PSAC East. After a tough loss last week at Westchester, the Golden Bears can ill afford another slip-up as we go throughout the remainder of the season. Good afternoon, everyone. Matt Santos here along with Greg Bamberger, high atop Redmond Stadium as we get set for the 2017 homecoming game for the Bloomsburg Huskies. The Golden Bears falling at Westchester in truly a heartbreaker last week by a score of 27-21. The Golden Bears trailed by 15, stormed back, but some poor special teams coverage on the kickoff return, a penalty set up Westchester for the winning touchdown. Bloomsburg is on a 4-game winning streak. The Huskies, after an opening season loss against Stonehill here at home, have won at Clarion, defeated Gannon, and then defeated Cheney by a score of 48-19, and won a squeaker at Millersville last week by a score of 28-21. So in many ways, today, Greg Bamberger, the Kutztown Golden Bears coming in with their backs against the wall a little bit, maybe the first real test for the Bloomsburg Huskies.
Well, yeah, I think as you look at the schedule, there's not a lot of common opponents. The only common opponent we had was the Millersville matchup, which we beat Millersville by 41-21 score. But, yeah, it's definitely, as you said to lead off, Matt, this is that midpoint of the season. This is, we're going to be at 5.5 games at halftime, and that's your midpoint of your 11-game season. And you've got 2 games going on today in the PSAC that are going to probably have a lot to do with who ends up on top of the PSAC East this year. Obviously, our game here with Bloomsburg, which has always been a great matchup, 2 defensive-minded teams. I think you're going to see a real hard-fought, blue-collar type of football game, we hope. And then the other matchup that's going on right now that's got a lot to do with things is the Westchester-Shippensburg matchup. Neither team, neither ourselves or Bloomsburg, has had a chance to play Shippensburg yet, and Bloomsburg still has to play both of those people. So there's going to be a lot of football left to play in this season. But if you look at a key weekend, as you said, Matt, this obviously is a very key weekend for KU. Being here at Bloomsburg, and obviously a key weekend in the PSAC East with the matchup that's going on down at Shippensburg, Ship and Westchester, and we'll get you an updated score here at some point. I'm not sure where that is right now. It started a little earlier today.
Absolutely. The one thing to look at, too, Greg, is that this has been a tough place for the Golden Bears. Bloomsburg's been tough in general.
Sure.
KU has won last year against Bloomsburg. It was only the second time in 25 years. The last time Kutztown won here at Redmond Stadium was my first year as the SID, was 1992. That was a 17-10 victory, one that the Golden Bears were lucky to come away with. And through the years, there have been many very good games here at Redmond Stadium.
Including the one 2 years ago.
2 years ago was a barn burner, and one that the Golden Bears felt got away from them. The PSAC title, East title, has been contested here back in around 2000, 2001. So trying to get that spell broken, more or less, and trying to come away with a win here at Redmond Stadium will not be an easy thing to do. And you and I were both down on the field pregame. We are high atop the campus here and you could see for miles in all directions a beautiful view of the Susquehanna Valley to our right, toward the central part of Pennsylvania to our left, and the wind could certainly play a factor down there today.
Oh, the wind absolutely is going to play a factor. It always does here up at Redmond Stadium. The flags on top of the goalposts, and of course the team flags and the American flag are all flying very hard right to left. So we're definitely going to see a game that's going to be impacted by that, similar to what we saw last week, Matt, at Westchester. There was probably the wind played a factor in the kicking game and the passing game last week in that tough loss by KU to the Golden Rams last week. But as you said, it's always a tough place to play. Bloomsburg's got a tremendous football history themselves, and even this part of Pennsylvania. I mean, Pennsylvania's a football state from a high school level, and you're up here near Berwick High School, long-time, tremendous high school program. Columbia County, which we are in, a tremendous high school football. The whole state has great football, but you get up here into the coal region area, and sometimes I think these teams might just be a little step above. And obviously, I'm sure they have a lot of local players that play for them, and they hold on to that tradition of good, tough, hard-nosed, blue-collar football.
Well, you have East Stroudsburg and Bloomsburg are really the two PSAC schools that are in the coal region, so
sure.
they're the primary recruiters in this area. We've had some good players at Kutztown from up in this area through the years, but of course that is a good point. This is the 71st meeting between these two teams, one of the longest running series for the Golden Bears. It dates back to 1927, a game that Bloomsburg defeated the then Keystone State Normal School by a score of 30-0. Bloomsburg leads the series by a tally of 47, 22, and 1. Of course, last year at University Field Andre Reed Stadium, it was Kutztown coming away with a 34-24 victory. The previous win over Bloomsburg for Kutztown was that record-setting 2011 season. We'll take a look at starting lineups for today. And we'll start with the Bloomsburg University Huskies, who are coached by Paul Adera. And we'll look at the offensive side. Up front for the Huskies, the center is Seth Jonathan. The guards, Chris Dunford on the left side and Josh Tripp on the right side. The tackles, Sean Sicola on the left side, Blake Remen Snyder on the right side. The tight end is Aaron Allison. The wide receivers for the Huskies, Michael Allen and Jay Popson. The fullback is Jake Gogler. The tailback is Kumac Quite, the younger brother of Franklin Quite, who was quite a performer here at Bloomsburg. And the quarterback for the Huskies is Chris Polubinski. On the defensive side for the Huskies up front, the ends will be Scott Belts and Chris Gary. The defensive tackles, Jake Klinger and Ezra Ronco. The linebackers, Alex Anon, Nate Monroe, and Dexter Jordan. The safeties are Osmond Torre, Eric Schwartz, and Darnell Baldwin. And the cornerback is Marquis Simone. That is the starting lineup for the Bloomsburg Huskies, who enter today's game with a mark of 4-1 and 2-0 in the PSAC East. For the Kutztown University Golden Bears, coached by Jim Clements, all eyes will be on the health today of the one and only number 13 for the Golden Bears, Craig Reynolds, who was used very sparingly because of an ankle and foot injury last week.
Yeah, and I think he still might be nursing that a little bit today, according to the athletic trainers and some of the people we talked to beforehand, but they did say he's much more healthy than he was last week. But, of course, Craig will get the start at the running back position. Colin DeGalbo will start once again at the quarterback position. Had a tough week last week, but that was a tough defensive opponent in Westchester. Wide receiver positions, Diego Torres be at one spot. Josh Lee has been a young player that's really made an impact this year. Started one other wide receiver spot. Connor Sullivan will also start at wide receiver. Tight end duties will be handled by Andrew Garbarino. Left tackle being held down by Justin Tyndall. Right tackle Skylar Penn-Carey. Inside, Jason Williams and Matt Sella will line up as the guards, and Jay Ingram will handle the center duties. I was also told that Jake Adams will probably get a lot of time on the offensive line, too, on the inside. Defensively for the Golden Bears, a lot of the same names that had a great effort last week against Westchester. defensive front, Ronnie Tomasetti, and the other defensive end, Steve Plausis, have done a nice job as redshirt seniors on defensive end. Defensive tackle duties, Zamir McDowell will get another start this week, along with Chris Kimbiz at the other defensive tackle spot. Inside linebacker duties, same two guys that pretty much started all year, Tajir Jefferson and Luke Snyder, the sophomore, will hold down the other inside linebacker spot. Rover position being handled by Jalen Nieves, the redshirt senior, has done a nice job in that outside linebacker spot this year. Two cornerback spots. I mean, we've had a lot of consistency there. Jelani Johnson, and the other one is Alkee Cox-Cowan, and then two safety spots are held down by Jake Perry, is probably more of the free safety, and then Sean Turber-Ortiz will handle the strong safety spot. Kicking duties again handled by Alec Rosenfeld. Dean Krissick again punting the ball. He boomed one. He boomed one in pregame, Matt, that went about 80 yards. So he's going to be able to have this wind with him. And then return duties to be handled, some by Craig Reynolds, but you'll see a mix of people in there as our kick returners.
Okay, the officials for today's contest. The referee is Mike Sarich, the umpire Paul Fetter, the lineman is Jim Pidco, the line judge Gilbert Jackson, the back judge Jim Hersey, the field judge Leo Hughes, and the side judge is Craig Teitelbaum. The temperature today a little warm for this time of year, is expected to be in the low 80s with the wind kicking up at times. It is partly cloudy, listed as warm, sunny, and humid. The Golden Bears will be wearing their all-white uniforms today, the white jerseys, white pants with the gold trim. Of course, the gold helmets with the Bear logo on the one side and the award paws on the other side. Bloomsburg will be in all maroon with gold trim. More of a yellow trim for the Huskies. We're getting ready for the national anthem down on the field, and we'll keep it here to honor our nation. Spangled Banner getting us set for action here shortly at Redmond Stadium, Danny Hale Field in Bloomsburg. A great homecoming crowd filing in here today for this Columbus Day weekend. The home stands look like they will be near capacity by the time everything is said and done. On the visitor side, a few hundred so far on the Kutztown stands. This is about an hour and 45-minute trip northwest of Kutztown up here in the northeast Pennsylvania mountains. And the Golden Bears are taking the field and looking to rebound from getting stung last week down at Westchester. And I'm hearing that Craig Reynolds did not practice much this week, Greg, but that he looked better in warm-ups this week than he did last week. I guess only time is going to tell. This was certainly a different offense last week without him.
It certainly is. I mean, Craig adds so many dimensions to what you can do offensively, and I've talked about that before on previous broadcasts. He's just one of those guys that, running back that can catch the ball down the field. He can catch it out of the backfield. He can catch it from a wide receiver spot. Obviously, you hand it to him. He does a nice job of being patient and letting those holes open up when they do. And when he's not 100%, it obviously affects what we can do offensively. But we've got a lot of other weapons that are going to be able to get it done hopefully today. And the biggest test, and I think one of the biggest things that we took away from last week's unfortunate loss, is we struggled a little bit up front on the offensive line. That defensive line for Westchester was real good, and that kind of makes everything else kind of maybe not look so good, unfortunately, being an ex-offensive lineman myself. But hopefully, the offensive line will be able to get done what they've got to get done, give Colin DeGalbo the time he needs, get the other running backs. If Craig's not healthy, get the other guys a chance to get through there. They did tell me in pregame they think they can run the ball. I mean, that's exactly what I heard from some of the coaches. They feel good about that. So, time will tell. You mentioned being up here in Central PA, or just looking at the loveliness of the state of Pennsylvania. We were kind of looking for a little bit more leaf changing by this time of year, Matt. But as warm as it's been, I guess that just doesn't lend itself to that right now. So, still waiting for the leaves to change and get that beautiful Pennsylvania fall colors that we normally get, which I'm sure we will get at some point. But, looking forward to just a great matchup on a beautiful day for football up here in Central PA. And we'll just have to wait and see how healthy Craig can be. I think you can look for another great effort out of our defense. Last week, even though they gave up 27 points, a lot of that was on big plays. I mean, I think coaches were pleased with the defensive effort, and I think you'll see a similar kind of effort out of these guys today. And I think you're going to see just a good, hard-nosed football game, as I mentioned in the pregame.
Looks like at the half it is Westchester 20, Shippensburg 10. So we'll keep an eye on that score. On paper, these two teams here, Kutztown and Bloomsburg, are pretty evenly matched. As you look at the scoring offense, Kutztown is 6th at 34.6 points per game. Bloomsburg is 8th at 32 points per game. The total scoring defense, it's 4th for Kutztown at 22.4. Bloomsburg 5th at 22.8. Bloomsburg really jumps off the page in terms of red zone offense. They've been effective in the red zone. They're 2nd in the PSAC. They're 3rd in the league in total defense. The Golden Bears 3rd in red zone offense. So we have pretty effective red zone offenses here. That not really able to tell much from paper.
No.
Of course, the opponents have been different. I think the Golden Bears, of course, having to face Westchester last week as we have the coin toss down on the field. We'll keep an eye on that. And weapons for Bloomsburg, Greg. I think that this Kumac Quite has 449 rushing yards already and 5 touchdowns.
Well, if he's anything like his brother, I'm sure he'll be definitely someone you got to watch out for. And I know that the one wide receiver, Michael Allen, who people from Berks County may remember, Michael was a star athlete at Fleetwood High School, also has done a nice job for Bloomsburg. I don't know exactly what his stats are, but Michael has 21 catches for 282 yards this year, so he's averaging a little over about 10 yards reception, and is a bit of a threat in the passing game.
Bloomsburg won the toss, deferred. The Golden Bears will receive, and they will defend the west end zone. You did mention Michael Allen. Jay Popson, although he has no touchdowns, has 22 catches for 374 yards, a 17-yard average. The quarterback, Chris Polubinski for the Huskies, has completed 57.8% of his passes for over 1,000 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Let me just clarify Michael Allen. He played at Fleetwood High School football, but he actually is an Ole Valley student. So before anybody from Ole Valley calls and tells me that I incorrectly named him a Fleetwood student, he played football for Fleetwood, but he is an Ole Valley student. He is, again, a Berks County native, as I'm sure there's many others on both of these teams. I know he's been making a name for himself up here at Bloomsburg. As you saw, we're going to be receiving in the west end, but we'll be going into the wind to start, so we're going to see what kind of factor this will be early. Coach had a chance to talk to offensive coordinator G.A. Mangus before the game, and he was actually pleasantly surprised by how well the quarterbacks were throwing the ball into the wind. We'll see if that can carry over into the first part of this game.
Absolutely, and this game is on statewide television on Sports Fever TV, and check your local listings of the local PBS, WLVT 13 carrying the game, in Berks County and in the Lehigh Valley. It can also be seen on ESPN3 for those of you who have that on your internet access. And, of course, you can keep it tuned right here and listen to us on KUR, or maybe turn up your volume for the broadcast and watch the telecast, whatever floats your boat. But it's a great day to be outside, so we hope some people are maybe doing some yard work and listening to the audio today as this one goes into the end zone, the kickoff, and it will be down there by Evan Culver, and the Golden Bears will go to work after a touchback.
Yep. Touchback brings the ball out to the 25-yard line. Today's rules, no longer the 20 on kickoff, it's the 25. KU will take over in the middle of the field. And, last week we saw some interesting things out of our offense in the first drive, if you remember, Matt.
Yeah.
Some interesting formations, and very well may see something similar. Coach Mangus has a whole, actually, the KU has made a decision to move the ball to the left hash, which you can make that option at the start of the series on the touchback. And just looks like a regular two-tight look to start.
It'll be DeGalbo under center with Reynolds as his sole setback. Just underway, 1st and 10 from the 25 play action. DeGalbo rose to the near side. Flag flies, completed to Amadou Barry at the 33, but the flag was in the backfield.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's most likely going to be a holding penalty. I can't think of anything else it would be. Maybe a defensive lineman hand to the head, but the way the players are reacting, it looks like it's going to be coming backwards. We'll wait to see what the referee has to say.
Holding. Offense number 69. 10-yard penalty. Okay.
It was holding on center Jay Ingram, but his hand's outside a little bit too wide, so knocks us back 10 yards to see if we can get this drive started going in the right direction here.
This is the second game of the longest road trip of the season for the Golden Bears.
Look at some of the defensive players for Bloom. Ezra Ranko, big number 42 at nose guard. That's 6'2", 340, and he looks every bit of it in there, Matt. I know that Coach Clements said he has not been playing much, but all of a sudden this is his first game back, fortunately for them and unfortunately for us, but nice job by the left side of the line.
And Craig Reynolds on the carry on 1st down. He takes it to the 21 for a gain of 6, so that'll bring up 2nd down and about 14 yards from the 21-yard line, far hash. Slot to the near side. DeGalbo will hand it off underneath. This is Evan Culver, who cuts it up over the 30-yard line to the 33-yard line, and it'll bring up a 3rd and short.
Yeah, nice job turning the corner by Evan, just outrunning some of the defensive ends to bring up a very manageable, obviously, 3rd and 2 here. Like bringing out our two tight end look, it looks like. Oh no, we're back to the eye. Here we go. Fullback. Saw one of those last week, Matt.
Yeah, working from the near hash, 3rd and 2 from the 33, wing near side. I formation, handoff, and barreling forward for the 1st down to the 35 is Evan Culver.
It's just a traditional I formation, ISO play on the right side. Kutztown overloaded it to the sidelines and tried to outnumber Bloomsburg and did enough to get the 1st down.
So 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. Slot to the far side, working from the near hash again is Colin DeGalbo. Just underway, no score. Play action, DeGalbo, he'll flip it back over, completes it to Culver. Culver 35-40, 45 midfield, 45-40. 1st down and more, Evan Culver.
Yeah, that's that little fake handoff, and then you basically run the screen pass back to that same running back. If you remember last week, Matt, that was one of our most effective plays. I know we hit a big one against with Craig Reynolds catching the ball, and then I think Evan even had a nice gainer last week on that similar play. So nice call by Coach Mangus to get us down into the positive side of the 50 here.
1st and 10 at the Bloomsburg 42-yard line. Slot to the near side, wing to the far side, now motion. DeGalbo out of the shotgun. Fakes the handoff, takes it himself around the right side, and dives down over the 40 to the 37-yard line to pick up a 5.
Yeah, that's a great weapon that we have with Colin and his ability to run the ball, and obviously we don't want to see him get pounded on too much because that will take a toll as the season goes on. Now that we're entering about that halfway point, hopefully he's able to keep doing that, but it's always good to have a versatile quarterback like that.
Well, we're going to call it 2nd and 7 from the 39. DeGalbo with Reynolds in the backfield. 2 receivers to the far side. Sullivan in motion out of the shotgun. Nice protection for DeGalbo. Now he's going to run it. Flag flies in the backfield as DeGalbo is down at the 33-yard line, pickup of 6.
It looks like it's going to be another holding penalty, unfortunately, Matt. Number 50, Jason Williams. I've called the offensive line name twice so far, and it's been for bad things, unfortunately. But protection was nice, but the defensive lineman for Bloom, Jake Klinger, number 66, got around the edge on Jason, and he just had his hands get out too wide. So these are penalties that I've talked about in the past that, aggressive penalties you can handle, but that is one thing that we've done too much of this year. We've had way too many, one of the most penalized teams in the league, if I'm not mistaken.
And untimely penalties at that.
Right.
Ball will be back at the Bloomsburg 49-yard line and make it 2nd and 18 with 11:38 to go. Opening drive here of the ball game, no score. Slot to the far side, wing to the near side. DeGalbo will pitch it, and Reynolds off the left side breaks a few tackles and dives down to the 45-yard line. We'll call it a pickup of 4.
Well, unfortunately, Craig had to make a decision in the backfield to try to get around a defender. One of our wide receivers, Connor Sullivan, just went right past the outside linebacker. I'm not sure why. He was looking for another defender to block, and Craig had to make that guy miss. If Connor could have had a hat on that guy, I think maybe Craig would have had a chance to really get to that corner and maybe made a little bit of bigger gain.
And now they're faced with a 3rd and long, 3rd and 13 at the 45-yard line of Bloomsburg. Double wing for the Golden Bears. DeGalbo working from the far hash. Takes the snap, pressure, throwing over the middle, and he has a man complete right down the seam to the 20-yard line. A nice reception.
Number 42, is that Pilkington again from last week?
Jack Pilkerton.
Yeah, Jack Pilkerton, I'm sorry. Using a lot of tight ends, which we've not been used to, but it's either Pilkerton or Garbarino or Sequel. But great job by Colin standing in there because he got hit right after he threw that ball by one of the linebackers that was blitzing.
1st and 10 at the Bloomsburg 20. 10-20 and counting. It's been all Kutztown on offense so far. Bloomsburg yet to get the ball. Here is Culver, who cuts it back and tries to find some room. Gets nowhere. No gain.
Yeah, nice play by Dexter Jordan, the left cornerback. I believe that was him. It's hard to see their numbers at times. I think it was number 29 that made that play. Evan tried to cut it back all the way back to KU's sideline, but just couldn't quite get loose.
2nd and 10 at the 20. Slot to the near side. Wing to the far side. Here is a handoff. Culver finds a seam off the right side and takes it down to about the 13, pickup of 7.
Yeah, nice job on the right side of the line by Matt Sella and Skylar Panteri to open up a nice hole. Good cutback by Evan, and as we said, we're calling Evan's name a lot, which hopefully we're resting Craig a little bit that we can get a lot out of him as the game goes on. We'll try to get an update on that.
3rd and 3. The ball down at the 13-yard line. Handoff, and Bloomsburg read that one right away as Culver was dropped for a loss of about 3 yards. Now going into the wind, do you try the field goal here on 4th down, Greg? Or, well, if DeGalbo's on the field, so let's see.
I think you do.
Sure.
I mean, it's only going to be about a 32-yarder into the wind. I mean, Alec has a very strong leg. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about it going into the wind. It's obviously it's just snap, hold, kick. That's all you're looking for. That last play, I don't know if it was a read play or not, but Colin did. He just gave the ball to Evan.
33-yard attempt to Galbo to hold. Rosenfeld to attempt. The snap, the hold, the kick. It is long enough, it's high enough, and it is no good. Wide right.
Must have pushed it right. I mean, yeah, it definitely was plenty long. Just kind of pushed it out to the side. Disappointing to not come away with points on that. I mean, we did hold the ball for almost 7 minutes, which is always a good thing. Now, of course, because we are on live television, we will be dealing with some TV timeouts, Matt. It looks like that's what we're facing right now. I'm looking for the red hat or whatever they're calling him. That is, there he is, right there on the 17-yard line. That'll be the person that signals whether we've got a TV timeout or not. So
we'll take a break as well. There is no score, 8:17 to go in the first quarter. You're listening to Golden Bears football on the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR.
Stop by the KU campus store or Dixon Marketplace any Monday following a home football game to receive 5% off KU apparel for every touchdown the Golden Bears score. The Paul Bucks discount is offered win or lose with a minimum discount of 15% and a maximum discount of 40%. The KU campus store and Dixon Marketplace are divisions of the nonprofit affiliate of Kutztown University, KUSSI. All purchases benefit KU students.
Hilton Garden Inn Allentown West features everything you need for a successful trip to the Kutztown area. Located just 20 minutes from campus near Fogelsville, the Hilton Garden Inn Allentown West offers a complimentary shuttle for corporate travelers, friendly service, and complimentary high-speed wired and wireless internet access to make your trip to Allentown successful, whatever the reason for your visit. Meeting rooms, leisure facilities, and a delicious cook-to-order breakfast make the Hilton Garden Inn Allentown West the natural choice. For reservations and information, call 610-398-6686 or visit HiltonGardenIn3.hilton.com.
Back to action here in Bloomsburg. A first down handoff for the Huskies will go nowhere as the Golden Bears are all over it. Quite on the carry.
Yeah, it's just your normal. I mean, Bloomsburg's one of those teams, Matt, those that follow PSAC football, they're not very fancy. And they're going to line up in the eye, and they're going to just pound it at you, and they're going to hit the play-action pass. And that was just an eye formation, handed off to the running back, and nice job by the whole defensive front on the right side of the Bears defense to stop it for no gain.
2nd and 10 from the 20. No score, 7:39 to go in the first quarter. Here is a handoff. Quite right side. This time he has more room as he takes it actually off the left side to the 25.
Yeah, again, you're not going to see anything fancy out of them. Quite, of course, brother Franklin had a great career here at Bloomsburg, and I don't know if, hopefully QMAC is maybe not at that level, but someday he probably will be.
3rd down and 5. Bloomsburg's first possession of the day. Polubinski out of the shotgun. 2 receivers to the right side, motion to the right. He rolls that way. He throws and completes it right at the first down marker to Michael Allen, the local kid out of Ole.
Just enough to get that first down. Nice job by Michael to get right across the first down mark, and a good pitch and catch by Polubinski to Allen for the first down.
So 1st and 10, Bloomsburg, 6:36 to go in the first quarter. Ball at the 31-yard line of the Huskies. Polubinski under center, backs in the eyes, receiver stacked to the near side. He throws it straight across, and it's incomplete, dropped by Michael Allen. Don't know if that was a lateral or not, Greg.
No, it looked like it was forward, and the official obviously called it that way, but it absolutely was, well.
That's still at the 29, right? Or no, it did go backward.
Okay.
Yeah.
The way it looked, yeah, it must have.
Must have been a fumble then, right?
And he absolutely got on it.
Yep.
Michael Allen did, but so they did call it as a lateral. I didn't see it that way, but puts him in a 2nd and 12.
Absolutely back at the 29. 2 receivers, backs in the eye. Polubinski drops straight back. He completes it to Allen at the 36-yard line, so a gain of 7. And another third down situation here for the Huskies, moving toward that west end zone with the wind at their backs. It would be right to left from our vantage point.
Yeah, this could be one of those games, Matt, that, we had a nice ball control drive. Unfortunately, came in with no points. And the way Bloomsburg throws the ball and runs the ball, heck, this may be a 2-drive quarter. We're already at 5 minutes left, and this is only the second possession of the game.
3rd and 5 at the 36. Polubinski working out of the pistol. Now shifts his back. 3 receivers to the far side. He throws to the near side, and it is incomplete, not even close, intended for number 89, Aaron Allison, and the Huskies will have to punt it away.
Yeah, that's not a typical thing you see out of Bloomsburg's teams. Great pressure there by Jalen Nieves, number 9, the redshirt senior defensive back from Ben Salem High School, and Ben Salem, PA, did a great job there, but he really threw that ball up for grabs, and the closest guy to it was one of our DBs. Thankfully for Bloomsburg, we didn't catch the ball.
Well, Connor Sullivan is deep again, so we're seeing limited use today of Craig Reynolds as the Huskies.
So far we are.
Kieran Smethers punts it away. A spiraling kick that bounces at the 19, and Sullivan with a nice return up over the 30 to about the 36-yard line.
Yeah, nice punt protection there that time. Punt return protection, I should say. Number 14, Naeem Navarez did a great job of running the defender for Bloomsburg out of bounds to give Connor a chance to head north and south there. But starting off in a nice situation, just got to keep doing what we were doing and just finish the drive. Which was the thing that bit us in the backside last week. We didn't finish drives, and we settled for 2 short field goals early.
4:59 to go in the first quarter, no score. Here is Craig Reynolds right side, and Reynolds with a nice run as he takes it up over the 40 to the 41, gain of 6.
Yeah, that very nice job by Craig. Nice job taking that handoff and waiting for that seam to open up. And I know that in talking to some of the athletic trainers and the coaches, one of the leg that Craig likes to cut off of is the one he's got a little, it's not 100%. We'll leave it at that. So I know he's maybe better going one way than the other.
Well, he's going to try the left side this time, and he pushes the pile very close. I think it's just going to be inches short of the first down at about the 44.8-yard line, Greg.
It's definitely short of the 45, so it's definitely it's going to be a third and less than a yard, which you have to think. Looks like we're lining up in our ISO package again, which is kind of new for a Kutztown University team in recent history.
3rd and inches, wing to the far side to Galbo under center. Bloomsburg almost jumped. The crowd continues to file in here, near capacity on the home side and the visitor side now, with the KU marching unit over there holding its own as well. Let's see. This is going to be close. No. Ball is loose.
Ball's loose. I think it definitely is loose, and it's Bloomsburg ball. Craig got hit from the side. I don't know exactly who it was. Defensive end, outside linebacker came off the edge and hit him right before he got to the line of scrimmage, and the ball popped out. And that is only KU's 4th or 2nd lost fumble of the year, 4th turnover of the year. We've been leading the PSAC and tied for the lead in the country in turnovers. We only had 3 turnovers in the first 5 games. I hope we don't decide to try to add to that, but that's a rare thing for KU at this point. One of the reasons they've been having a nice year so far.
So not only do you not get the first down, but you give Bloomsburg excellent field position at their own 49-yard line. Polubinski under center, backs in the eye. He's going to hand it off. We got a razzle-dazzle here as Quite pitches it back. Polubinski going deep. 2 men, a battle. Allen against Jake Perry, and he overthrows everyone. The wind got under that.
Well, yeah, you definitely, that's a play you run. So long balls with the wind behind you, the ball definitely will carry. It's very hard to stay accurate, but great defensive coverage by Jake Perry that time. They were trying to do a little flea flicker to Michael Allen, and great coverage in the backfield. Jake Perry did a real nice job of screening Michael off, so he couldn't get near that ball, but I don't think anybody was going to catch that when the wind took it right out of bounds.
2nd and 10, working from the middle of the field. The ball at the 46-yard line of the Golden Bears. I had incorrectly said the 49 of Bloomsburg. It is the 46 of the Golden Bears. Quite off the right side. and he will have a couple yards as he takes it down to about the 43.
Yeah, hit made by linebacker Tajir Jefferson was there. Alki Cox-Cowan, Luke Snyder. Nice job by that defensive front to hold them to just about a 2.5, 3 yard gain. 3rd and 7's a good down for a defense. I mean, offensively, it's almost like you throw the ball 3rd and 7, kind of a little too long to try to run the ball.
We'll see here.
Could be 4 down territory here too, man.
Absolutely. Working from the right hash. Slot to the near side. Polubinski out of the shotgun. He's back. Good pressure. He rolls right. Still good pressure, and he's got to get rid of it. Incomplete.
Now, they're going to be asking for intentional grounding. However, he was out of the pocket.
Sure.
So, there was not a Bloomsburg defender anywhere or a receiver anywhere near the ball. So the referees are discussing whether it was intentional grounding. It looks like the referee he's going to talk. I could not hear exactly what he said. I think Coach Clements was questioning if it was intentional grounding, and the officials decided that it was not. So great pressure by, I believe it was Ronnie Tomasetti on that side of the defensive front to rush Polubinski and force him into an errant throw.
Kieran Smethers into punt for the Huskies. Connor Sullivan back at his own 10-yard line. 2:42 to go here in the first quarter. No score, Kutztown and Bloomsburg. From scenic Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania.
Looks like they're going to try to position this punt. Oh,
good pressure.
Yes.
And the wind gets it again, and it goes, into the end zone. A lot of tailgate action going out in that west end zone beyond the stadium, Greg.
Well, that parking lot's full of tailgaters. And
sure is.
I think they've got more than one event going on today. Their athletic complex is all right next to each other. We're looking above the visitor stands. You can see Bloomsburg's baseball field. Their softball field's off to our left. Their tennis complex is next to the softball field. Right behind us is what they call an all-sport field, where their soccer teams and their field hockey team and their lacrosse team competes. And of course, the main hub of everything is Nelson Fieldhouse. Their all-purpose athletic building, their gymnasium, and their pool is also right here on. I believe they refer to this as the upper campus, if I'm not mistaken, Matt. Lower campus is the main part of campus, the academic and residence side. There is residences up here also. We're in the middle of another TV timeout. There's a chance to talk a little bit more about their complex, but they do have a great crowd out here for homecoming. The reason I said I think they have other events going on, I saw a bus from Mercyhurst here today. So Mercyhurst must have a team.
Field hockey.
It's a field hockey. Yep. So they'll be playing in the field right behind us. And obviously with all their facilities in one location, it presents itself for a great atmosphere, and they've got a good atmosphere today.
And a good 10 to 15-mile view toward
oh my goodness,
the west there, Greg. You see the
maybe longer going out that way, man. My
absolutely.
Goodness. Gorgeous look out of the valley out there.
The rolling hills, some nice farmland. And
yep.
The Golden Bears, of course, will return home next Saturday as the East Stroudsburg Warriors come to town, a 12:05 kickoff. You'll be able to hear the action here on KUR with the audio simulcast of the KU TV telecast. And then Greg and I are back on the air in 2 weeks from Lock Haven. That is a 12:45 airtime. 1st and 10, Golden Bears from the 20. No score, 2:37 to go in the first quarter. Slot to the near side to Galbo, working out of the shotgun with time. He's back. He dumps it off underneath. It is complete to Abdul Hassan Neblet out of Paramus Catholic, Newark, New Jersey, and he gets about 2 yards.
Yeah, I think Abdul felt that he wasn't all the way down. The tackle was made by number 45, Nate Monroe. Came out and pulled him down, and Neblet is one of those guys that he might have spun and didn't think that his body actually hit the ground. He wanted to keep running.
2nd down and 8 from the 22-yard line. Trips to the far side, one receiver to the near side, working from the near hash. Here's a quarterback draw. DeGalba with a lot of room. 1st down, up over the 30, and he runs it out of bounds at about the 33-yard line.
Yeah, nice job by Colin to see that crease on the right-hand side. that may have very well just been a called quarterback draw. I didn't see how some of the other guys were reacting, but nice job by Colin to keep the ball moving forward and using his legs to his advantage.
1st and 10 from the 33, near hash. Trips to the far side. Lee to the near side. Neblett is in the backfield. He'll shift over to the left side as DeGalbo works out of the shotgun. Neblett on the handoff. A seam off the left side. He takes it over the 35 to the 36-yard line. Gain of 6 yards. Well, 3 yards they're going to call it.
Yeah, Abdul's one of those guys that's got great quicks, and we just have a hard time getting him free. He's got some great speed. He gets the full speed right away. He has had a tendency to be a little loose with the ball, but I believe this year he's done fine. Like I said, we only have 4 turnovers the entire year as a team. He's definitely one, I think, as time goes on. I mean, he's just a redshirt sophomore. He hopefully will be a big factor in what KU does on offense for this point down the road.
2nd and 7 from the 36. Far hash, double wing, play action, fires it out, complete to Diego Torres, 40, 45, midfield, 1st down and more. DeGalbo to Diego Torres as he takes it down to the 47.
I think Trayvon Brown over there was impersonating a hurdle. See that, Matt?
I did.
A nice job by Diego's hurdling Trayvon Brown as he tried to bring him down and gained about another 8 to 10 yards after that.
1st and 10, hurry up offense, a handoff, and Neblett is met immediately. He's thrown for a loss back to the KU 48. An update from Shippensburg, 7:19 to go in the 3rd quarter. It is Westchester 27, Shippensburg 24. So the Raiders have just closed the gap on that one as we look at scores from around the PSAC East.
Yeah, and there was one game played earlier in the week, Thursday night. Millersville gained their first PSAC East, the second PSAC East victory of the year by defeating East Stroudsburg Thursday night on Sports Fever. Those that may have watched it, they beat East Stroudsburg 12-0 on Thursday evening. So
we're at the end of the 1st quarter. Your score is Bloomsburg 0, Kutztown 0. We'll take a break. You're listening to Golden Bears football on the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR.
Americans enjoy 7 billion hot dogs between Memorial Day and Labor Day. But the great taste doesn't stop there for Kutztown University Golden Bear sports fans. Burke's hot dogs can be purchased at KU Athletics concession stands throughout the fall, winter, and spring. In addition to Frank's, Burke's offers a large selection of delicious Burke's branded hams, ring bologna, sausage, bacon, and deli meats, including ham, roast beef, and turkey breast. The Burke's brand is built on a long-standing tradition of providing excellent product quality and superior customer service. So the next time you're at the store or at KU for a game, choose Burke's, the official hot dog of KU Athletics. Camillo's Italian Restaurant and Pizzeria, located at 264 Greenwich Street near campus, is a family-owned and operated KU favorite. You'll immediately taste the difference at Camillo's, where they use fresh garlic cloves, 100% extra virgin olive oil, and sun-ripened tomatoes imported from Italy. Even though their ingredients are the best money can buy, their prices will surprise you. Camillo's has over 25 toppings, one of the largest selections, along with 8 different sauces loaded with flavor, and free piping hot delivery to your door. The taste you want at family-friendly prices. When you want a really great homemade meal, call Camillo's at 610-683-5637. That's 610-683-5637. Bon appetit.
The start of the 2nd quarter, no score between Bloomsburg and Kutztown. Matt Santos here along with Greg Bamberger. Emily Schlegel, our engineer, back at the KUR studios. The Bloomsburg Huskies on a 4-game win streak coming into this one, 2-0 in the PSAC East, 4-1 overall. The Golden Bears trying to rebound from the loss at Westchester last week, 3-2, 1-1 in the division. It is 2nd and 14 at the Kutztown 48. The Golden Bears moving right to left here in the 2nd quarter. Here is Neblett, right side, and he gets a couple yards as he takes it back up over the original line of scrimmage to the 47-yard line of the Huskies.
So you talk about PSAC East contest, Matt, as we went to the break, and obviously a good keeping an eye on that Westchester Shippensburg game. KU, obviously everybody has goals to try to win the PSAC East. For all the KU fans, we need to be cheering for Shippensburg, and then hopefully we can do what we have to do in the rest of our games, including the Shippensburg game. and still have an opportunity at that title. But we do need to hopefully get a win by ship in that game.
Double wing, 39 from the 47 to Galbo. Fires, completes it out on the right side to his tight end. That is number 42, Jack Pilkerton. And that's going to be short of the first down, but it's inside the 40, so I'm thinking the Golden Bears may go for it here.
Yeah, that was a nice job by Pilkerton to try to get as much as he could out of that. I didn't think the official was going to give him that kind of spot, but he definitely laid out to try to get that ball there. Bloomsburg, I tell you, first half, we just saw the first half stats. Bloomsburg offensively only had 19 yards total offense. So Kutztown has dominated everywhere except can't get on the board yet.
118 yards for the Golden Bears. Here we go, 4th and inches from the 38. It's a sneak, flags everywhere.
I think we have a delay of game call, it looks like. I don't know. Okay, coach got the timeout call before the delay of game. You saw the Bloomsburg coaches pointing to the game clock. Obviously, Coach Clements was not going to let that get past him. And thankfully, because I believe we fumbled that snap, and I'm not sure who got on. I know he fumbled the snap. He may have got on it himself. I don't know.
Well, the last time the Golden Bears, the last drive, KU was in this similar situation and needed a few inches and ended up fumbling the ball away. So you would ask about Craig Reynolds during the break, Greg. I still have not been able to locate him either on the sideline or on the field, although I imagine he is over there somewhere. There's somebody sitting back.
Yeah, I'm looking at him also, but that does not look like
him.
Craig. Yeah.
I do not. I still cannot locate him unless he's down there in the offensive huddle. So we're going to have a 4th and inches from the 38-yard line of the Huskies, 13:46 to go. And the way these two defenses are playing, this is an important 4th down.
Well, I think you absolutely go for it here because then you're going to have Bloomsburg, if we don't get it, you give them good field position. But as I said, they only gained 19 yards of offense in the first half. So our defense is playing well. And for them to do any kind of throwing, they're going to have to throw it into the wind. And throwing it into the wind sometimes can be more difficult than throwing it with the wind, depending on what you're trying to do. But yeah, I'm trying to keep my eyes open for Craig also. I have not seen him in the huddle. I'm just looking at other players standing on the sidelines. There's really no one over by the athletic training staff. If we do get any kind of update on Craig's condition, I know KU football fans would enjoy.
There he is.
Oh, there he is.
Yep, he was in the huddle.
Yes, he was. There he was. There he is.
But he's not on the field right now on 4th and inches. The Golden Bears in their short yardage formation. It looks like Culver's in there at running back, and it looks like somebody jumped as flags fly.
Well, Garbarino is saying that there was a call made by the defense, which the umpire may concur. They may have made a call defensively that forced our tight end to jump off sides. The umpire ran over because the side judge did signal procedure on Kutztown, but the umpire did come in like he's agreeing with Mr. Garbarino's complaint. So we'll see what happens here, Matt. That could be 5 yards for KU.
Here we go.
Yes, it looks like it will be. Absolutely.
What did he call there? Delay a game or no?
It's called delay a game because the defensive players cannot bark out signals that sound like a snap count. Okay, and that's what they're saying they did. Obviously, the Bloomsburg coaches are very disappointed by that call, but I'm sure it happens. I'm sure it happens in all football games. But okay, we've got a timeout call by Bloomsburg. I think Coach Dara may just want to discuss this with the referee. Bloomsburg players are very disappointed in that call. The umpire agreed that Bloomsburg did make a call. That had an open mic situation there, Matt.
Yeah.
Bring up some memories. But Coach Dara is obviously not very pleased with that assessment. Basically, they made a call that forced our guy to jump off sides, and that's what the referee felt. Now, actually, coach on the field right there, That's supposed to be a penalty these days.
Yeah, now Bloomsburg is making some substitutions, so perhaps they had a short yardage defense in there for that situation, Greg. They made some, put in, it looks like an extra defensive back here, and maybe the timeout was not only to argue it, but to get some substitutions, and the coaches will not back off the official. And so here we go. Here we're getting another explanation. Nope.
I don't know what that was. You know, it is a big emphasis for sideline decorum. I'm a little surprised that, we had our coaches got called for a sideline decorum penalty a couple weeks ago. Kind of surprised they didn't do something there.
1st and 10 from the Bloomsburg 33. 3 receivers near side. Evan Culver on the handoff, and he's thrown for a 2-yard loss back to the 35.
Yeah, well played by Jake Klinger, redshirt junior defensive lineman for Bloomsburg. They're doing a nice job of fighting off blocks, and right now, at least on the run game, we're struggling with getting our running backs past the line of scrimmage on the last few times we've been trying to run the ball.
2nd and 12 from the 35. Trips to the near side. 1 receiver to the far side. DeGalbo working from the right hash with Culver in the backfield. And we're going to have another stoppage of play.
There's no way that clock should have been down to 0. They were looking at the play clock. There's no way it should have been down to 0 because it starts at 40. And the Bloomsburg coaches were yelling for delay of game, but as I looked up, the clock still had 0, and there's no way that could be.
All right, here we go. 2nd and 12 from the 35. The Golden Bears with 4 receivers, 3 to the near side. DeGalbo out of the shotgun. He's going to run it. DeGalbo takes it down to the 31-yard line, gain of 4, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 8.
Yeah, again, they're doing a nice job of not letting DeGalbo beat him. You remember last year he set a KU record with an 82-yard touchdown run against Bloomsburg, so I'm sure they're not going to let that happen again. With the wind here, Matt, honestly, depending on what we do here, if it's 4th down, I think we try the field goal. You got great wind at the back for Alec. We'll see what happens on this 3rd down, but
be close to a school record if that's the case, Greg. 3rd and 8 from the 31. Trips near side, 1 receiver to the far side. DeGalbo out of the shotgun. Good protection. Flag flies. He throws down the near sideline, intended for Sullivan. Incomplete over his head. Let's see if that was a free play or if it's against KU.
I think it's going to be a hold. That's our 3rd hold of the day, unfortunately. I imagine they're going to decline it. No, he's taking him back, pushing us back. Got to keep those hands in. Offensive linemen are struggling right now. That's our 3rd holding penalty, which it's an aggressive penalty, but it's something that it's just a little sloppy sometimes. So we've got to do a better job with that. Curious decision by Bloomsburg. Do you definitely take us back 10 yards or just 4th down? Maybe he realizes we do have a good shot at a field goal there.
See if they can get back in field goal range. 3rd and 18 from the 41, double wing. DeGalbo out of the shotgun. He drops. He fires over the middle, incomplete. Intended for number 42. That's Jack Pilkerton. And now you would think the Golden Bears would want to punt it away, and they were in a situation like this last week with Westchester, and Krissick ended up shanking it. See if he can maybe drop it inside the 10 this time, Greg.
Well, he's got the wind at his back, and, of course, Dean Krissick's got one heck of a leg, and he's one of the leaders in the country in punting averaging over 45 yards a punt. So we don't want him to quite do that on this one if he can.
Jordan is deep for the Huskies. A bad snap, but Krissick gets it and just has to boot it away. I think that really threw him off, Greg, and probably just did the right thing by booting it out of there.
He had to. I don't know what happened with that snap. I think it went about 10 yards and fell on the ground. Thankfully, Dean did a nice job of scooping it up and just had to get rid of it. Had no choice.
So 11:58 remains in the first half. It is Bloomsburg nothing, Kutztown nothing. The Golden Bears have moved the ball fairly well, but have come up short when they've gotten about midway through Bloomsburg's territory.
Well, it's been key penalties. That holding penalty right there took us right out of field goal range, and Bloomsburg held on third down. And the same thing happened in the first drive a little bit. Some mistakes at the wrong time.
1st and 10 from the Bloomsburg 20. Slot to the near side. Polubinski with 2 backs, 1 on either side of him. He hands off to Quite, who takes it to the 25-yard line, gain of 5.
Yeah, I think Bloomsburg's going to try to just stay with what they do. I mean, they're an eye offense, hand it off, keep riding that horse, Quite, until he gets a chance to break free. But we've seen our defense do a great job against the run this year, and hopefully they can maintain it again and get that ball back to the offense so we can try to squeeze something in there and get some points before halftime.
2nd and 5 from the 25, slot to the near side. 2 backs again in the backfield. Alongside Polubinski. Quite on the handoff, and he spins down to the 29-yard line, 3rd and 1.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going to do, Matt. I mean, they've already chewed up a little bit of time here. We still got 11 minutes to go to halftime, so there's plenty of time for somebody to get some points on the board. But this is what we thought we would see today. We thought we would see 2 just blue-collar teams just beating on each other, and at this point, might be the last guy with the ball that scores.
Might be. 3rd and 1. The ball at the 29-yard line of the Huskies. No score with 10:37 to go here in the first half. Here's a handoff left side, and it's going to be a first down for the ball carrier, Alex Gooden, who gets his first action out of Octorara High School.
Yeah, just a nice handoff on the left side of their offense, and just gained just enough, just over that 30-yard line.
That's enough for Husky. First down.
I mean, this is where you'd really like to see somebody come up with that big hit in the backfield, tackle for a loss, something to force them into a throwing situation. As long as they're in a running situation, I think they're just going to keep doing that.
1st and 10 from the 31. Slot to the near side, 2 backs. The pass is fired and completed out on the far side to Michael Allen up at the 38-yard line, gain of 7.
Stop there by Tawana. Gain of 7.
2nd and 3 from the 38-yard line of the Huskies, working from the far hash.
Yeah, I mean, Bloomsburg's in some non-traditional stuff. They're spreading it out a little bit. Shotgun, which you don't see a lot of times out of them.
Polubinski hands it off underneath, and this goes nowhere as Kutztown read it all the way. Alex Gooden on the carry.
Yeah, Luke Snyder, Tajir Jefferson, great job getting pressure, and that's that play I was talking about. Get a nice hit in the backfield, knock them back for like a 1 to 2 yard loss, which we just did. Now you're sitting there at 3rd and 4. Now on the offensive side of the ball, 3rd and 4, I pretty much got you where I want you. Okay, I can do either one. I can run the ball, I can throw the ball, I can go play action. It's very tough defensively because you got to stop about every play they have in the playbook.
3rd down and 4 from the 37. Slot to the near side. Polubinski working out of the shotgun. KU showing blitz, and somebody jumped as flags fly.
Yep, now you got them in the 3rd and 9. It's exactly what I was saying. Now you've got them in a situation where they have to throw the ball, and maybe KU can get some pressure on Polubinski if they do throw it. But that's exactly what you want to do defensively, just kind of push them backwards. Now all of a sudden you don't have to defend that whole playbook anymore.
That's right.
Now you're just defending those plays that they can guarantee themselves 9 yards, and there's not a whole lot of those out there.
3rd and 9 from the 32-yard line of the Huskies. Slot to the near side, Polubinski working out of the shotgun. Gooden in the backfield. Polubinski back. Good protection. Fires right side, and it's incomplete over the outstretched hands of Michael Allen, and the Huskies will have to punt it away.
I'd like to see, I don't think we keep these kind of stats at this level. At this level, it almost seems that Allen's been like the only receiver he's been attempting the ball to. I don't know of another.
He's got all 3 catches for 20 yards, Greg.
I'm talking about all the pass attempts. Almost every
targets?
Yeah, targets. I think every one of them's been to Michael Allen. I may be wrong about that, but it certainly seems that way.
Yeah, I'm trying to think back, and you could be right. So here's Connor Sullivan back at his own 35. Kieran Smethers into punt for the Huskies. Rugby-style punt, good pressure. And this one is going to roll and stop at about the 38-yard line of the Golden Bears, and that's where KU will go back to work. 8:14 to go. No score between Bloomsburg and Kutztown, and it's
kind of boring.
Depends
if you say that.
If you like defense, Greg. If you like defense, it's...
Well, it's... You got one side of the ball. At Kutztown, we're doing some things, but we're shooting ourselves in the foot with penalties, and we had a turnover. Bloomsburg is not, defensively, Kutztown's doing a great job of stopping Bloomsburg. So, if people don't want to see scoring, this is not the game to come watch. And hopefully you'll listen to us, and we'll make it as exciting as we can.
First and 10. Swing pass incomplete, intended for Culver, and just some sloppiness, Greg.
Yes.
What I was going to say is this is just a different offense without Craig Reynolds. Last week it was pretty evident, but now that you've seen it 2 weeks in a row, this is not the same team that we saw in the first 4 games of the season.
Well, no one has shown that they can be a big play guy. Craig is the big play guy. He can run. He can do the 30, 40-yard run for a touchdown, the 50-yard catches for touchdowns, the punt returns for touchdowns. Don't know if we have that guy out there. No one has shown that this year so far.
Second down pass is deflected, incomplete. And not only that, but when you have your big play guy, it really opens up everyone else.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
And now you can pretty much hone in on the rest of the team. And last week, the Golden Bears did fight their way back, and DeGalbo was the guy. And I think he's going to be the one that's going to make something happen here. 3rd and 10 from the 38, double wing now.
And he's shown that he can do that.
Sure. Working from the right hash is Colin DeGalbo. And there's an option as he pitches it to Culver. And Culver, with a nice run, he's going to be close to that first down mark, depending on where they spot this, Greg. On this side of the field, well, they're moving the chains. Okay, first down. Wow.
Yeah, by about a half a yard.
Okay.
By about a half a yard. That was close.
That's a new wrinkle.
But I know that, Evan Culver is one of those guys that people were real excited about after last spring practice.
Sure.
I know there was a lot of talk about Evan, and he had a tremendous high school career in the Saucon Valley. But still just trying to find his place. He didn't play last year. Wasn't eligible. So now he's still trying to find his place, and he's been sitting behind Craig and learning from Craig, and hopefully he can break out.
1st and 10 at the Kutztown 49. Sullivan in motion to the far side. Handoff underneath. Culver tries the left side and takes it into Bloomsburg territory down to the 47, gain of 4.
Yeah, he's got some of those same qualities as Craig Reynolds. He's a patient runner. He tries to find those creases. Maybe doesn't quite have the burst that Craig does when he does finally find that crease. But, he is similar size, similar looking athlete, Craig is. So I think he's just a guy that just needs some time.
2nd and 6 from the Bloomsburg 47. Trips to the far side, one to the near side. DeGalbo with time, passes over the middle, incomplete. Intended for Sullivan.
Yeah, great protection at time by the offensive line. That's some of the best protection I've seen today. Colin had plenty of time, but it was well played there by Bloomsburg, by Nate Monroe, knocking the ball down before Connor Sullivan could get his hands on it. Again, we talked about this tremendous homecoming crowd here trying to disturb us on 3rd down, but a 3rd and 7 situation here.
3rd and 6. DeGalbo back under pressure. He's hit as he throws it. Incomplete. Good pressure there by number 10 of the Huskies, Chris Gary.
Yeah, good job by Chris Gary to hit Colin as he threw the ball, and it kind of just fluttered incomplete. It's turned into a little bit of a punting contest. I know last time, hopefully we can get a good snap here for Dean Krisick. Got plenty of room to hopefully knock the receiver deep. Is that a final?
4th down and 6 from the 47, and the Golden Bears are looking at some national scores here, and Oklahoma
Number 3, Oklahoma.
Yeah, trailing to Iowa State. And this punt, again, Krissick gets his foot into it, and it goes out of the end zone.
The update on that Shippensburg-Westchester score, Matt. We got a TV timeout, so we got a few minutes here.
Well, we'll take a timeout as well as we want to give tribute to and attention to our sponsors, Greg.
Yes,
6:45 to go in the first half. It is Bloomsburg nothing, Kutztown nothing. You're listening to Golden Bears football on the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR.
In 1923, David Javich opened a two-man butcher shop called the Carlisle Meat Market. The mission of Giant Supermarket remains the same today as it did on opening day: offer the best products at the fairest price. With more than 200 stores, Giant has grown to become one of the largest grocers in the region. Giant's commitment starts and ends with you, the customers. For over 90 years, Giant has worked to provide you with unmatched selection, quality, and value every time you visit one of our stores. Golden Bear fans, be sure to visit Giant's new 50,000 square foot store, open 24 hours daily, just a half-mile west of campus on Kutztown Road. Giant. Quality, selection, and savings. The Center at Holiday Inn is pleased to be a continuing partner of Kutztown University. We are a short drive from their beautiful campus, and our expert staff and spacious facility awaits you and your guests. Whether enjoying a freshly made-to-order breakfast in our America restaurant or digging into the famous short ribs at the Sam Adams Brewhouse, your experience at the hotel will be amazing. If you are relaxing in your spacious guest room or outside by the pool, you will unwind knowing that we have taken care of every detail of your stay. Good luck, Golden Bears, from your partners at the Center at Holiday Inn.
We are back here at Redmond Stadium, Danny Hale Field. No score between Bloomsburg and Kutztown. The Huskies go back on offense, 1st and 10 from their own 20. 6:45 remaining here in this first half. Two receivers stacked to the near side. Under center is Polubinski. He'll hand it off, and going nowhere is Alex Gooden. He got about a yard, actually.
Well played. I think the initial hit there was made by 92, Chris Kimbiz on the inside. Bloom's one of those offenses that's going to bore you to death a little bit and try to hit you with a big play. They're going to run that ISO, run a little bit of play action pass. And they're just getting those short gainers, and I'm sure they'd love to have a nice 6-minute drive here and try to put some points on the board, but they haven't shown that they can sustain a drive, and unfortunately KU hasn't either at this point.
2nd and 9 from the 21. Receiver split, backs in the eye. Polubinski under center. Kutztown showing blitz, and we have a stoppage of play.
Kutztown's called a timeout.
Golden Bears timeout. Time of possession, Greg, actually in favor of the Golden Bears, 15:06 to 8:09. Rushing yards, Kutztown 75, 18 for Bloomsburg through the air. 74 for Kutztown, 20 for Bloomsburg. Plays, Kutztown 29 plays, 149 yards. Bloomsburg 16 for 38. So defensively, the Golden Bears have been stalwart here so far today. It would be nice at some point they can pull away a turnover, and we may need to see a score out of that defense to put the pressure on Bloomsburg here today.
Well, yeah, I'm sure no one cares who scores. You'd like to see that or a special team score. Not sure who would be that big play guy from a punt return standpoint or interception return. Defense, again, like you said, has just been stalwart. They have done a phenomenal job of not allowing Bloomsburg to get comfortable offensively. And Kutztown has been comfortable at times, but then, we have a drop here or there, an unfortunate, untimely penalty that has just, killed our drives a little bit. And of course, the one fumble turnover that they did have.
What do you think the purpose of the timeout was there as we go to a 2nd and 9 from the 21, Greg? Did they see something that
I think Coach
matching up, or
he might have made a call and just didn't like a matchup that he had. Maybe he was just in the wrong defense, and instead of trying to have them adjust the defense on the fly, he said, what the heck, I can't take the timeouts with me, I might as well call one.
Right.
That's all. That'd be my best guess.
Especially in the first half.
Sure.
They're just not as valuable.
No.
2nd and 9 from the 21. Back to action here. Backs in the eye. Receivers split. Polubinski under center. He'll hand it off. Again, trying the left side and really finding nowhere to go is Alex Gooden.
Yeah, that defensive front for Kutztown is inverting the offensive front for Bloomsburg, and we just inverted them about a yard back, knocked them back to a second and now 11 or third and 11 situation. Obviously, the Kutztown defensive guys are playing with a lot of emotion, doing a great job, and I'm sure that'll carry over to everybody. Not that anybody's not playing with emotion, just we're not maybe playing as smart as we need to in certain spots right now, and defense just needs to keep doing what they're doing. Offense will break through. We saw that last week.
3rd and 10 at the 20. Spot to the near side. Polubinski working out of the shotgun. He rolls, draw play. Kuyate spins up to the 25, the 26-yard line. It'll be 4th down and about 4. And with 5:04 to go here in the half, no score, the Huskies bring on the punting unit.
This is a drive where you want to try to come out with something. You got Connor Sullivan back there, punt return. One thing that makes it difficult on the kicking game is the way Kieron Smethers punts the ball. I mean, he is a rugby-style punter. You really don't know where the heck it's going. It's going to take some crazy bounces. When you don't have a good idea where he might punt the ball, it's hard to set up a nice return.
Sullivan is deep, back at his own 40. This time the punt ball almost goes back to the left side as he ran to the right, and it'll be down right around midfield. Fans, stick with us at halftime here on KUR for the KUSSI halftime report. Our Steve Degler will be talking with the head field hockey coach of the Kutztown University Golden Bears, Marcy Schuing. And he'll also have the head women's volleyball coach, John Gump. That's today, halftime on the KUSSI halftime report. The fall sports teams at KU, some of the highlights this year have certainly been the Golden Bear women's soccer team, which is number 1 in the country right now at 10-0, and both cross-country teams are ranked regionally.
Yeah, all three of those are having great years to go, and even field hockey and football obviously are starting out the seasons with great promise.
1st and 10 at the 49 to Galbo. Really sees no one open. He tucks the ball and takes it to the 48, and it'll be a loss of about 2. We'll call it the 47, 2nd and 12.
Yeah, I didn't see exactly where he was looking and what he was looking for that caused him to make that decision. But as we've seen in the past, Colin can get free in some of those situations, and Bloomsburg's doing a nice job of not allowing him to do that.
Handoff. Oh, it's a keeper as DeGalbo takes it himself on the read option down over midfield to the 48, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and about 7 yards.
Yeah, nice read by Colin. He saw the big hole in there, and he tried to take it. And, those are always kind of dangerous plays because you never know with that read option. Is it really a read? Is that running back squeezing that ball too much? We've had that type of turnover happen a couple times. But the big 3rd down here as we're starting to close out this first half.
Double wing on 3rd and 7 from the Bloomsburg 48-yard line. Still no score with 3:05 to go in the first half. DeGalbo out of the shotgun. He fires. He completes it to Jack Pilkerton for a 1st down to the 37-yard line. And how about this? Pilkerton being one of the main targets here for DeGalbo.
Yeah, redshirt sophomore out of La Plata, Maryland. I'm sorry, I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, but has really shown up for the offense starting last week at Westchester.
1st and 10 from the 37, a pitch right. This will be Neblett, and Neblett dives down to the 33-yard line. We'll call that a gain of 4.
Yeah, nice little quick pitch that you might want to call, like the old sweet days where the quarterback reverses out and pitches it back to the tailback. Same kind of effect, and he just outran the defensive end for a 5-yard gain.
2nd and 6 from the 33, slot and near side. DeGalbo pumps, fires. It's incomplete, and it was deflected, and it's a good thing that there were no maroon jerseys near that ball as it came down.
I'm not sure what Collins saw. I mean, he obviously pump faked it. Maybe he thought someone was going to come open after the pump fake. But where he threw the ball, there was more maroon jerseys than white jerseys. So we're kind of lucky there. Big down here. Now, and then you got a decision to make. Do you try a big, huge field goal, or is this 2-down territory?
Probably 2 down, Greg, I'm thinking. 3rd and 6. We'll see. Double wing. DeGalbo out of the shotgun. Neblett in the backfield. DeGalbo being pressured. Now gets away from several defenders and is going to just throw it away. Incomplete.
Again, I'm not sure what Collins' first reads are, but it seems like he's given up on his reads early. I mean, he sees a read, he doesn't like what he sees, and the first thing he's thinking about is, I'm going to tuck it and I'm going to run it. Then I see there's nowhere to run. Now everything's all screwed up. Okay, it looks like we are definitely going to be 4-down territory. Going to go for it here on 4th and 7 with about 2 minutes to go in the half.
Double wing. Albo in the shotgun, and we are going to have a timeout called by Bloomsburg. I do recall, Greg, these two teams played here for the PSAC East Championship back in 2001, I believe it was. It was late in the season, and Bloomsburg won that game by a score of 10-7. And that just jumps out at me as one of the lower scoring games in my time of watching Gold. I know there were some other ones, but trying to touch base with our sports information director, Brian Salvador, to find out when was the last scoreless half period, maybe not just the first half, but period. And it's hard to figure that out. You have to get into the files, but
to go into the actual stats of that game.
And I'm talking scoreless first half or second half for both teams, where neither team.
Maybe a listener out there may know that. If there's any KU football fans out there listening, maybe you might have played in that game yourself. If you're one of our faithful alums, former football players.
Trying to think through the years, I remember a low-scoring game at American International in '96. It was a 7-3 ball game. You have to open the season up there. So I'd imagine, unless it was a 3 and a 7, that would have potential for a scoreless first half. But there's just not a ton of them. Not a ton of defensive battles through the years.
No, there really isn't.
Where you can really there's a 7-3 Lockhaven game in 2003, which was won by Kutztown. So probably have to go back a ways. A 10-3 Shippensburg game in 2005.
10-9 Millersville game in 2002.
Yeah. 4th and 6 from the 33-yard line of the Huskies. Slot to the near side. 2 back to either side of DeGalbo. He drops. He throws. He fires. It's incomplete. His man, Amadou Berry, was covered.
Yeah,
that's who he was trying to hit.
It looks like Amadou. I can't quite see his second number.
Yes,
it is.
It
16.
Is.
Well covered by the left corner of Bloomsburg, so that would have been a heck of a pitch and a throw if he could. But now we're sitting here with 2 minutes to go and giving Bloomsburg the ball again about the 33. I don't know what their updated offensive stats are, but if this defense can just hang on for another 2 minutes and keep doing what they're doing, and they get in the locker room, talk about things, and defense needs to keep doing what they're doing. Simple as that. Doing a phenomenal job.
18 plays, 42 yards for the Huskies with 2:05 to go in the half. Here's a handoff underneath, and this is going to get some yardage as the running back is chased out of bounds after about a 7-yard gain. That is number 22 again on the carry, Alex Gooden.
Yeah, he stepped out actually at the 39, Matt, for about a 6-yard gain. Referee marked him back on the 39. But, with Bloom's offense, plenty of time for anybody to score, but see if Kutztown just continue to do what they're doing defensively, and offense got to get in on the drawing board and figure some things out.
2nd and 4 from the Bloomsburg 39, no score. 2 minutes to go, a draw play, and Kutztown's all over it. As I'll tell you what, they swarmed Alex Gooden for a loss.
Our guy Jalen Nieves and defensive end Adam Crowder, just tremendous job. They just made an agreement to meet at the running back about 4 yards deep in the backfield, and they did it. One from each side. A great job by the KU defense.
I tell you what, the Kutztown has a timeout left. There's a minute 31 left. 17 seconds on the play clock. I would imagine that the Golden Bears will save that timeout depending on what Bloomsburg, if they run it here, they'll certainly use it, you would think.
If they run it, I think you would want to. And you'd still have about a minute to go.
Play action. He is going to fire deep, and this one is going to be picked off down inside the 35-yard line.
Sean Turber-Ortiz. If I'm not mistaken, that's his 4th interception of the year, Matt. Great job going up, getting that ball at its highest point. Tremendous job by Sean to come over from his safety spot to make that play. Okay, KU has 1 minute and 9 seconds to go. Still has a timeout. Coach Mangus has got to dig into that Steve Spurrier bag of tricks play calling and come up with some things here. But then again, he's not out there running the plays.
That's right. You are correct. That is the 4th interception of the year for Turber-Ortiz. The Golden Bears 1st and 10 on their own 33, 1 minute 9 left. The wind at their backs, and this is a handoff near side and not really getting much.
No, not at all. Well played there by the young man I mentioned earlier, Ezra Ranko, 6'2", 340-pound young man, defensive lineman who, in talking to the coaches this week, this is his first game back. He has not been playing, probably because of some injury, and Ezra decided to come back on the field this week. Unfortunately for us, maybe.
38 seconds to go. Dump pass out on the right side to Culver. Culver dives up over the 35-yard line, and he's out of bounds. The clock will stop with 31 seconds to go and a 3rd down and about 7 yards here. So Bloomsburg with 2 timeouts may be thinking about getting another shot here.
Depending on what we do on this play, if we run the ball. And honestly, I mean, you want to keep that clock running. You'd rather not have to punt the ball back, even though we've got a great weapon with Dean Krissick, and he's had no problem punting from here and forcing Bloomsburg deep if that was necessary.
Play action, deep drop, firing over the middle and incomplete, intended for Diego Torres. A late flag down at midfield. He was double covered, and I'll tell you what, it doesn't seem like any of the Golden Bear receivers are open.
Well, that was great coverage by the defensive backs. Maybe it was too good, and maybe that's what that did. And you see our coaches are applauding on the sideline, so it looks like we're going to have an interference call.
There you go.
Yep. Now, of course, that's called from our sideline, so I'm sure maybe one of our coaches gently reminded the official that maybe that was interference. I'm not saying that's why he made the call, but obviously they may have assisted him in some way, shape, or form. But gives Kutztown a little bit of new life here. I mean, 25 seconds to go. We've got a kicker with a strong leg. Still have that timeout. Get us another 20 yards and take a shot at a field goal, man.
Sure.
Got plenty of time to do that.
1st and 10, midfield, slot to the far side to Gobble back with time. He is going deep down the right side. He has a man open. Amadou Berry has it, and he is out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
That was a great throw by Colin DeGalbo. That's not easy to do with the wind at your back because that ball can float. Great catch by Amadou Berry to go up and catch it at its highest point. Steps out of bounds at the 2-yard line. This is where we struggled last week against Westchester,
sure.
Matt. We just could not punch it in from this point. Still have 17 seconds to go, 1 timeout. We're in the eye. Maybe we're just going to run the ISO. I don't know. We'll see what we got here.
1st and goal at the 2, wing near side, backs in the eye, under center to Galba. He'll hand it off. And no, this is going to be good for no gain, and the Golden Bears take a timeout with 11 seconds left. Now I think you're clearly in passing down, Greg. You've got to pass it.
Yeah, you have to. I don't agree with that no gain. I saw him get a little bit, but I'm way up here and they're down there, so I'm not going to argue with that. But, yeah, you're going to have to throw the ball. You've got no choice. You still have 2 more downs. I think you just take 2 high-quality throws. It's either we catch it or it's incomplete, and then if that's not done, kick the field goal, hopefully.
Well, you can always give DeGalbo the rollout run pass option, but you can't take too much. If you want to get 3 plays here, including a field goal attempt, you got to have some kind of quick slant timing throws.
Yes, you do.
Maybe, if you're going to go for it on fourth down rather than kick the field goal, but at this point, you've got to get a field goal attempt out of this when there's been no scoring.
Yes, absolutely you do. You can't come away without that field goal attempt.
So we'll see what G.A. Mangus dials up here for his offense. A reminder coming up at halftime, the KUSSI halftime report. Steve Degler with KU head field hockey coach Marcy Schuing and head women's volleyball coach John Gump. Westchester leading Shippensburg by a score of 30-27 with 5 minutes left in that ball game. We'll continue to keep an eye on that score. The Golden Bears will return home next Saturday to host the Warriors of East Stroudsburg. That'll be a 12:05 kickoff. You can hear the action beginning at noon here on KUR, the simulcast of the KU TV telecast. Greg and I head up to North Central Pennsylvania in 2 weeks for a showdown with the Bald Eagles of Lock Haven. That'll be 12:45 airtime. Here we go. Second and goal from the 2-yard line. He'll work out of the shotgun, Will DeGalbo, with Neblett in the backfield. 3 receivers slot to the near side. DeGalbo takes the snap, steps up. Oh, he's get wrapped up and sacked. He's wrapped up and sacked.
Can't take the sack.
Wow.
Too late.
How did he take a sack? And that is it. That's it. Wow.
Can't take the sack.
Unreal.
Right.
That was one thing that you could ill afford. And Coach Mangus is beside himself.
Just got to throw it, man. You got to just throw the ball.
Unreal.
Man, he thought he could probably get his wheels loose and maybe sneak it in there, but you can't take a sack in that situation. The referee is already swinging the 20. Okay, last week we watch all our teams. I want to just talk about this a minute. We watch all our teams go all the way off the field. We still have a 5-minute walk to the locker room, and we're already swinging the 20-minute clock. That's got to get more consistent, Matt. And that was part of our 30-minute halftime we had last week at Westchester, which I'm not sure I want to talk about that. I'll probably get in trouble. But the fact that this clock is already moving and our team is not even halfway across the field, I have a problem with. So.
Okay, well, we're going to head to our halftime festivities now. Your score at the half, Bloomsburg University nothing, Kutztown University nothing. You're listening to Golden Bears football on the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR.
Kutztown University football on KUR is brought to you by Fleetwood Bank, offering lending services, personal banking, business banking, and more at 5 convenient locations. Come along for the ride. Fleetwood Bank is what you want your bank to be. By Boyle Construction Management, one of the Greater Lehigh Valley's most respected construction management and design build firms, performing a broad range of construction services including construction management, design build, and general construction. Boyle Construction Management, built better. And by Cresswell Brothers General Contractors, offering premier construction and design build services along with a professional support staff and highly skilled carpenters and laborers. Located in Pottsville, Cresswell Brothers, serving your construction needs since 1961. After a long day, the Crown Plaza Reading Hotel is the place to rest and relax. Located on Paper Mill Road in Wyomissing, the Crown Plaza offers an indoor pool, a fitness center, prime steak and wine, Good Nights Lounge, the Crown Plaza Sleep Advantage program, and the largest meeting space in the Reading area. Positioned near many cultural, historic, and fun attractions, and just a short drive from Kutztown University, the Crown Plaza's friendly staff and excellent amenities are sure to make your trip more memorable. The Crown Plaza offers a Kutztown University friends and family rate. For more information, you can call the Crown Plaza of Reading at 610-376-3811 or visit the Crown Plaza on the web at www.crownplazareading.com. The Crown Plaza Reading. Work, connect, succeed.
Halftime here at Redmond Stadium, Danny Hale Field in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. A PSAC East matchup, and the score is Kutztown University nothing, Bloomsburg University nothing. The Huskies with 44 total yards, the Golden Bears with 216. We're going to send it back to the studio for the KUSSI halftime report. Our Steve Degler talked with Marcy Schuing, head field hockey coach of the Golden Bears, followed by John Gump, head women's volleyball coach. We'll send it back to the studio now for the KUSSI halftime report.
Welcome to the Golden Bear Halftime Report presented by KUSSI. I'm Steve Degler. Joining us today will be volleyball coach John Gump, but first we'll start with field hockey coach Marcy Schuing, who is in her 5th year at Kutztown. And when you look at year number 5, which for me is hard to believe already that it's been 5 years, how have you been able to put your stamp on the program after taking over for a long-time coach?
Yeah, it's been great. We we are finally at the point where it's all my fault, as they say, that all the recruits are mine now. And I really like what we're doing. Obviously, we're having a great season so far. And I have a senior class. I have 7 seniors. 1's hurt, and 6 are starters. So we have a lot of experience out there. And you can tell in the closer games right now, the ones that we've pulled through and won, when we beat Westchester the other night and when they were ranked 3rd in the country and things like that, that didn't happen a couple years ago. So you can tell that the maturity is there now as well.
You've been ranked as high as number 5 in the country in Division II this year. What does that say about the state of your program?
Yeah, I don't ever really look at the rankings because that just gives you a bullseye. So I'd rather not be ranked until the very end of the season and then make the playoffs and go to the national championship is the goal, obviously. But it is an honor, obviously, because the other coaches vote on that. For them to think that you're as good as 5 is there's a lot to be said about the girls' hard work.
You've started your season with a 5-0 mark at home. How important is it for you to protect your own turf, so to speak?
That's one of our goals that we always make before the season begins is go undefeated at home. Don't let anybody come in here, and especially on our brand new turf, don't let anybody come in and take that away from us. And we've been also at home outshooting them 17-1, outscoring them 17-1. So right now we're really feeling it on our turf, and so hopefully that can keep up. You
mentioned the win against Westchester a couple of weeks ago, and the Golden Rams were number 3 in the country at the time, as you pointed out, the 2-1 win. Is that a signature win that your program's been kind of looking for?
Absolutely. Last year we didn't have that signature win, and in the end, I think it really did hurt us not to get that momentum boost, and getting that win this early in the season, it did a lot for our confidence and really, carried us into a win that following Saturday against Seton Hill as well. So I definitely think it showed my team that we can play with anyone.
Your top scorer this year has been Kira Wozniak. What makes her such a special scorer?
Kira's a great kid. She had several Division I offers, but knew that she wanted to play right away. And so ultimately chose Kutztown. Great kid, very hard-nosed player, very serious in warm-ups. You can't even talk to her because she's ready to go at all times. And she's just outstanding. So it really is a pleasure to coach her. But her thing is you never know what she's going to do. She has so much ability to do whatever she wants with the ball. And as a defender, you can't really read her, and that's what makes it so difficult.
We're talking with Golden Bear field hockey head coach Marcy Schuing during the Golden Bear Halftime Report presented by KUSSI. At the other end of the field, your goalkeeper, Chardonnay Hope, has been one of the top goalies in the PSAC. Why is she so tough to beat?
Char's dad played in the NFL, and she's just so naturally athletic. She has stuff that you absolutely cannot teach. Her leadership out there is unbelievable, and her athleticism in the cage is once again, you can't teach it. It's just natural to her. So those are the things that make her an outstanding goalie. But she's also good at her craft, and so she's really focused in this year. She has goals. She wants to be an All-American. She wants to be All-PSAC, and she's just been a great leader back there for us.
I know you don't want to talk about this one, but last week you suffered a bitter loss at the end to Bloomsburg, number 8 in the country at the time. Yeah. You had a big win one week, a tough loss the next week. How do you hope a team responds from the swings like that?
Yeah, it is. It's very difficult. It's one of those things you can say, Bloom's a great team, so you lost to a great team in the final minute of the game, mind you. So now what we do at practice is we put 5 minutes on the clock, and you go offense versus defense, and you make sure that the offense knows how to win that game next time instead of losing that game. And on the flip side, you make sure that defense knows how to shut them out so they don't score that goal in the last minute.
You're into PSAC play, and obviously in field hockey in Division II, this is a premier conference. So how tough is it to get through your league schedule?
It is exhausting. It really, truly is. They top to bottom this year, I was just saying to someone else that the parity in the league is the closest I've ever seen it. I also played in the PSAC. It's the closest I've ever seen it by far. There are no easy teams. Even the teams that are going to finish in last are good competitors, and it is just so close this year. It is literally anyone's league. So
how tough is it? I mean, you obviously want your conference to do well. You want your team to do even better, but you know you're going to get good competition, but you're going to kind of eat each other up too over the course of the year.
Exactly. And in Division II hockey, we do so much damage to each other throughout the season. When we get into the playoffs, we're all, it's hard to see what you can really do because you're so worn out from your season. But it really is. It's just so close, and it's the small things. It's the little things that you have to focus on to try to win those games for sure.
You just missed out, and I mean just missed out in the PSAC tournament a season ago.
Yes.
How important to take that next step for your program would it be to get there this year?
I think the wins at home is going to be a huge one. You can't expect your team to win a hard game on the road at the end of the season. So you need to take care of business early, and that's a hard lesson that we learned last year. So hopefully we can take care of business earlier in the season so it doesn't have to come down to the final game.
I know we talked about it last year when you were on the show, but you're in a really good area because the field hockey in Berks County and in the Lehigh Valley at high school is especially good. Is it still that way? Does it make it easier to recruit a little bit?
Absolutely. One of our freshmen this year, Trinity Ponton, is from Wyomissing High School, and she's the first Berks County recruit that I've actually brought in, and as a freshman, she's tied with Kira as one of our leading scorers. So it's exciting to bring those kids here and keep them home, keep them in Berks County instead of watching them go to a PSAC competitor and play for them. So that was one of our goals, is to try to keep the better players close to home.
Obviously, you go to Lehigh Valley. Emmaus has been a staple in the state, and you go to the mid-state. Palmyra always has a good team. It's easy to find the players there because they're always playing deep into the season. How about from some of the other schools? Is it tougher to find some of those nuggets that are in the rough a little bit?
And that's what I would say. That's just about Trinity once again. Wyomissing wasn't a very good program. I had her team at camp, and it was a team against all the Lancaster Lebanon teams that are outstanding, and she just ran all over those kids. And so it kind of caught me off guard. She doesn't play club. She didn't do the extra stuff. She's actually going to do track here as well. And so I think seeing the athleticism in her, it just drew me to that, because you can't teach speed. You can improve it a little, but you can't teach it, and she just naturally has it. So, but in all, to answer your question, we really do focus on trying to keep the local kids local. And I don't have to go far to recruit. There is just so many good kids around here. We have a kid from Palmyra that we got that's a freshman, and next year we have a kid from Penn Manor coming. And so we're trying to get to those top high schools, and maybe it's not their best player at those top high schools, but their fundamentals are outstanding.
To have the U.S. team camped so close in Lancaster, does that help too?
Yes, it's just so neat. We actually played a game there this year, a non-conference game against Queens from Charlotte, North Carolina, and it was just so neat. The girls love the experience. We won the game. You're on the turf that the U.S. team plays on, so it was really cool. Well,
good start to the season. Hopefully playoffs are in the fold this year, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Marcy Schuing, field hockey coach here at Kutztown, our guest on the Halftime Report presented by KUSSI. When we come back, we'll be joined by volleyball coach John Gump right after this. Osgood's Neighborhood Grill and Bar is the newest food choice in town. Located just over a mile west of the Kutztown University campus on Kutztown Road, Osgood's features amazing steaks, seafood dishes, fall-off-the-bone ribs, and chef specials, soups, chowders, and chili, pastas and light fare, sizzling starters and salads, and burgers and sandwiches. For information, visit osgoodsbarandgrill.com. It's always good at Osgood's. We are back on the Golden Bear Halftime Report presented by KUSSI. I'm Steve Degler, joined in this segment by volleyball coach John Gump in his 21st season here at Kutztown. And Gumper, I know one of the things this year, you have a young team, and that can be good and that can be bad at points. How's it gone for you so far this year?
Well, one of the important things with a young team is you want to see progress. And we've seen a great deal of progress from the beginning of the year. I mean, obviously, there are challenges when you have a young group. One of the things that's helped us is we have a group of, well, not really a group of seniors. We have a pair of seniors who have done a really nice job in terms of leading this group and kind of setting the tone for what the expectations are and how we want to approach things. So from that standpoint, things have gone really, really well. But the growing pains part of it, the adjusting to the college game, the speed, the physicality, all that kind of stuff, there's just no way to rush that. It's just something that it's going to happen through experiencing it over the course of a season. But I've been really pleased with what I've seen so far, and look forward to us continuing to get better as the season goes on.
You've pulled out some tough wins this year, including a 3-2 win here at home against Shepherd. How important is it for them to learn how to win early in their careers?
It's important, particularly in the last couple seasons. A lot of those matches have gone the other way for us. And the way we won it, coming back from being down 0-2, I think was really important too, for them to understand that, you're never out of a match. As long as there's still a point that the other team needs to win, you still have some life. And I think we learned that lesson, and we're hopeful that we won't need to do that quite as often going forward. But it's nice to know that we have a group that's not going to quit in situations where things look bleak.
Your team was on the road quite a bit to start the season. Is it better to travel early and get it out of the way as opposed to maybe later in the year? I
like traveling, particularly with a young team. You get a chance for kids to get to know each other and spend time together. We were in Virginia Beach, our first night playing there. We were done by the middle of the afternoon, so we went down to the beach and had a nice dinner. And then the kids wanted to go on the beach for a little bit, and I stayed, by the boardwalk. And within 10 minutes, we had 2/3 of our team in the ocean, fully clothed. Not exactly what I expected when we went down there, but it's an experience that they won't ever forget, and that kind of stuff's important.
That's the veteran 21st-year coach. You stayed on the boardwalk.
Yes, and then ran across the street to buy towels.
You talk about a young team, 12 newcomers this year. You've been able to get most of them into action, if not all of them. How have they acclimated to, as you talked about, the pace, the physicality of the college game?
We're starting to see a little bit, getting into the conference, the Friday, Saturday games. We're starting to see, a little bit on the Saturday turnaround from the 7 o'clock match on Friday. Maybe a little bit of dead legs early on. It's just not something they're used to, but they work extremely hard, and it's something that they will adjust to eventually. But in total, this group they bring a great energy to our gym every day.
For the second straight season, your top player has been Brittany Moyer. What makes her such a good player? She's
just incredibly solid in all facets. I mean, she handles the ball extremely well in serve receive. She's an excellent defender. She's athletic, so we can move her around a lot on offense because she's not the biggest kid. So generally, she's given up some size at the net. So her ability to move around allows us to create some matchups for her. And then she's just a really, really smart hitter. She knows when to pull back and when to be aggressive.
To have somebody who's so versatile and can do the different aspects of volleyball, how much of a luxury is that for a coach?
Well, the more things that individual players can do, the more creative you can be. And that's one of the things that this entire group has. There's a lot more versatility with some of our players, and allows us to be a little bit more creative offensively because we don't have to limit what we do because of a limit to somebody's skill set.
John Gump, volleyball coach here at Kutztown, our guest on the Golden Bear Halftime Report presented by KUSSI. Who are some of the other role players who have contributed for you so far this year?
We've gotten a really nice performance from Jess Howe, who's one of our juniors. She made the move from left side to right side this year. And there's always a little bit of growing pains even for returning players when you change positions and having to adjust there. But she's done a really nice job helping us get a little bit more offense from the right side this year. We moved Nikki Carpenter, another one of our juniors, back into the middle this year from the right side. And she's starting to come along. She's our leading blocker. And we're hopeful that we can start to get more and more offense out of the middle as well.
You start the PSAC schedule with East versus West. What's the difference of crossover play as opposed to your play within your division?
Well, everything counts in the standings in volleyball, so you kind of treat them all the same way. The biggest difference is you're not going to see these teams twice, so you're only going to get one shot at them as opposed to the teams that are in your division. You're going to play them twice, but we look at everything. You approach it the same way because at the end of the night, you're going to get either a win or a loss in the standings.
When you look at bringing in all these young players, what are your short-term goals? What are your long-term goals with the program right now?
Well, the short-term goal, obviously, we want to get back into the playoffs. It's been a while since we've been there. But the long-term is to really set a foundation this year for them to understand what it takes to be successful at this level, to have some success this year. Because this group, it's going to be the core group that we're, going to try to build on for the next 2 or 3 years.
I understand you expanded your recruiting base this past year. What was that like for you to do all that traveling?
It was exhausting.
Where were you, by the way?
Well, I was in Orlando. I was in Fort Lauderdale, which sounds glamorous, but Fort Lauderdale in July is not exactly the place you want to be. And then Minneapolis as well, where I tried walleye for the first time.
Yeah. And how was that?
You know, it's a very nice fish.
Did you find any players is the most important question.
Well, we think so. Because we brought a big class in this year, we're almost looking 2 years out now. We're hopeful that we don't have huge needs for 18, just to add a player or two at spots that we think that we need to address. We're looking more for 19 kids with the travels this summer.
You, like I, are a big baseball guy. Your reaction to KU's Ryan Vogelsong announcing his official retirement and the career he had in the big leagues?
You know what? It was awesome to watch. I got to see Ryan pitch on a number of different occasions over the course of years, and was thrilled to be able to do it with my son. And Ryan was so incredibly nice to my son through the years, taking time to talk to him before games on numerous occasions. And the way the Giants handled it, I thought, was just really, really awesome for him, and a fitting end to what's really a remarkable career. You
mentioned your son, Matthew. He's a volleyball player in college as well. You get a chance to see him play a lot in the spring?
I do. That's the nice thing. His season is opposite mine, so I get an opportunity, and he's only about an hour and a half away down at KUR University, so I do get a chance to see him play a lot. And it's nice, just to be a parent.
Gumper, always a pleasure. Good luck the rest of the year.
All right, thanks, Steve.
All right, John Gump joining us, along with Marcy Schuing, the field hockey coach. They are our guests this week on the Golden Bear Halftime Report presented by KUSSI. Matt Santos has second half action from Bloomsburg right after this.
The Inn at Reading Hotel and Conference Center, with 170 oversized guest rooms and banquet rooms for group sizes up to 750, the Inn at Reading Hotel and Conference Center can accommodate your restful stay or festive party. For information, visit innatreading.com. The Fairfield Inn & Suites by Marriott, located conveniently in Wyomissing, Pennsylvania, a great place to stay for all your local overnight needs. And by the Homewood Suites by Hilton in Reading. Enjoy a restful stay in a brand new 1 or 2 bedroom suite with a separate living and dining area plus a fully equipped kitchen, located in the heart of Pennsylvania Dutch country. Homewood Suites by Hilton Reading, you're always welcome home.
KU football fans, did you know that all purchases made at the KU campus store benefit KU students? The campus store is a division of the nonprofit affiliate of Kutztown University, KUSSI. Surplus from KUSSI's operations is given back to students in the form of scholarships, student activities, and campus athletics. From competitive textbook options to KU apparel and gifts, KU campus store is your source for everything KU.
Unless this punch good. Sorry.
We are back in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, the campus of Bloomsburg University. Halftime, there is no score between the Bloomsburg University Huskies and the Kutztown University Golden Bears. Matt Santos here along with Greg Bamberger. Emily Schlegel is our engineer back at the studio. First half stats. Total offense, 41 plays for the Golden Bears, 216 yards. Bloomsburg, 21 for 44. Time of possession in favor of the Golden Bears, 18-27 to 11-33. The leading rusher for the Golden Bears, Evan Culver, 9 carries for 32 yards. Kumac Kwiate for Bloomsburg, 6 carries for 23 yards. Through the air, Colin DeGalbo, 8 of 16, 136 yards for the Golden Bears. Chris Bolobinski, 3 of 8 for just 20 yards for the Huskies. The leading receiver for the Golden Bears, Jack Pilkerton, 3 catches, 44 yards. Michael Allen led the Huskies, 3 catches for 20 yards. The leading tackler for the Golden Bears, Jalen Nieves, with 4. Nate Monroe leading the Huskies with 6. The opening kickoff of the second half from Kutztown.
Went out of the end zone.
Yep, out of the end zone. So we'll have a touchback. Of course, the win at the Golden Bears back there. And we are back to action. Greg, the big number that sticks out, 21 plays, 44 yards for those Bloomsburg Huskies.
I tell you, just dominating effort by our defense. If they can do that for another 30 minutes, that would be fantastic. It's hard to keep that up. These guys at Bloomsburg have been around a long time, so they're going to try to find other ways to move the ball. But our defense has done a phenomenal job. Offensively, my God, we just gave up a great opportunity there at the end of the second quarter, Matt. We just got to capitalize on those situations.
1st and 10 from the 25. This is Kwiate, and he gets 2 yards as the Golden Bears are there, clad in all white today. That defense has been as we see the final score from Shippensburg and Westchester. Westchester put up 37 points on the Raiders today. 37-27, Westchester wins. Kutztown would have liked to have seen a Shippensburg win there, Greg, but again, last week, Kutztown held Westchester to 27 points at their place, and that last touchdown was pretty much a short drive for the Golden Rams. 2nd and 9. Oh, he's hit as the quarterback, Palabinski. Ball comes loose, and one of the linemen for the Huskies falls on it, and this is going to be a big loss, but that could have been a disaster. And I think
Palabinski's down.
He is.
Yep.
Chris Palabinski is on his back.
Great job by Ronnie Tomasetti coming off. The right tackle is being replaced by Bloomsburg because that's the young man that Ronnie Tomasetti just ran right around and nailed his quarterback. They bring in their backup quarterback, number 18, Doug Strang, as Palabinski got a little dinged up there. But great job by Tomasetti coming in, nailing him. He actually fumbled the ball. It's caught by one of the offensive linemen, and then we tackled him for a large loss. Now they've got about a 3rd and 20 situation, and hopefully KU can do what they got to do, and I don't know anything much about this Doug Strang.
It's actually Eric Benjamin. Doug Strang came in as a receiver, Greg, so Benjamin's in a quarterback in the pistol. He hands it off, and back up to the 20-yard line comes the back on 3rd and 18.
All right, my mistake on that. It is Benjamin, but nice job by the defensive front. The very first play of that drive, we didn't get a chance to mention it. Chris Kimbez made a great job of getting his arm out and hitting the running back 2 yards deep. Nice job that time by Luke Snyder, wrapping up the running back's leg and not letting go. And here we are, kind of see if we figured anything out in that halftime. We're going to have great field position after this exchange of the ball here.
Well, that was 3rd down. So this is 4th, and here is a high punt by Smethers as Sullivan is deep and is going to bounce at midfield. A late flag comes in, but the Golden Bears, depending on this flag, should get good field position.
I don't know. Whoa. They're calling something on, I don't know what this is all about. They're calling something on 14. It's better not be. Said he hit him under the chin. The line judge is telling the referee that our guy hit a Bloomsburg guy under the chin. Don't know what's being discussed, obviously. But this better not be a turnover where it's an automatic first down.
Personal foul, down number 14, unnecessary roughness. Personal foul, 32, Bloomsburg, unnecessary roughness.
Got pointing the wrong way. That's the non-call and the referee pointing the wrong way both times.
Yeah, just go ahead and be unsportsmanlike and nothing happens.
Hey, as long as we both do it, it's okay. I hate that.
I know. They should be forced to sit out for a series or something. I don't. Just as a
you can cheap shot each other
call.
and it doesn't affect you.
Yeah, it's one of my least favorite things about football.
I have to agree.
1st and 10 from the 50-yard line for the Golden Bears with the wind at their backs, going right to left here. Here is play action, throw out to the right side. It is complete. I believe that is Diego Torres down at the 45-yard line, gain of 5.
Nice little timing play. Just, catch it, do one read, nice little throw, high percentage pass. You're sitting here 2nd and 5. Great situation.
Here is Reynolds, right side 40, 35. And Craig Reynolds, who we haven't seen much of today, we saw him early. He shows some of that spark that gives this offense spark, right?
Yeah, that's the thing that Craig can bring, and you even saw there, he's definitely not 100%, and I think everybody knows that by now, but he definitely, that's the best run we've had from scrimmage today.
Yeah.
Nice job by Craig.
1st and 10 from the 32 receiver split. Here's another handoff, and that is Reynolds again, who takes it to the 31, gain of 1.
Yeah, same kind of play, just running that read option. Maybe the idea was, since defense is playing their tails off, keeping Craig fresh in that first half, so we knew we'd still be in it in the second half. I mean, that's who knows if that's the thinking that the coaches had or not, but as long as he can stay out there and we can get the ball across there, the defense keeps doing what they're doing, hopefully it'll all turn to our favor.
There's play action and a throw incomplete on the near side to Diego Torres. An interesting play there is it looked like DeGalbo, he faked the handoff, looked like he was going to run and then just came up and fired it, and it was way off balance when he threw it, Craig.
Well, and that's that RPO. That's the run-pass option that you see offenses doing these days, and obviously Collins threw it too low to Diego. No way he was going to be able to catch that ball and do anything with it. Thankfully, he caught it. He dropped it because it would have probably been about a 2-yard loss.
3rd down and 9. The ball at the 31-yard line of the Huskies. 11:51 to go, third quarter. No score. Bloomsburg and Kutztown. Here is a option pitch. Reynolds at the 30, cuts it back 25. He gets the first down to the 21.
Yeah, nice job by Craig. You can see when he runs that definitely favoring that one leg, but doesn't look like he's had any intention of heading to that sideline. Craig's going to do what he can to help this offense get that ball across the goal line.
1st and 10 at the 21-yard line of the Huskies. 4 receivers working from the near hash, 3 to the far side. Reynolds in the backfield alongside Colin DeGalbo. DeGalbo with time, back to pass, fires it out incomplete. His receiver was not ready.
No, he was just trying. I think he was just throwing it away. Looks like he looked like he was going to think about running the ball, and thought again about it, and looked out to the outside to Torres to try to get it to him, but Torres had already adjusted his route and gone up the field, so it kind of fell incomplete.
2nd and 10 from the 21-yard line. 4 receivers, 3 to the far side. DeGalbo out of the shotgun. He's going to take it and run with it, and Bloomsburg is all over him, but he does get some yardage down to the 16, a gain of 5.
Yeah, nice positive gain by Colin. It definitely opened up for him, but it is difficult as an offensive lineman, Matt. Obviously, you're setting up there and you're trying to pass protect, so you're keeping the guy on that side of the quarterback. Next thing you know, the quarterback's standing next to you. It's very difficult to maintain that pressure on that defender because now his point that he's attacking has changed, and you don't know that as an offensive lineman. So, if you run definite quarterback draws, sometimes you can adjust your blocking.
3rd and 5, DeGalbo pumps and then tucks it himself and runs. I thought he had released that ball, but I guess he didn't.
I thought he did too. Did it get knocked down and he caught it and then ran with it?
It happened quick, Craig.
We're going to try a field goal now. Let's see if Alec can knock this one through. Obviously the distance is not going to be an issue. His problem, I think, his only 2 misses of the year, Matt, have both went wide right.
Sure.
Those people that know football, I'm saying wide right on the same day as the Miami-Florida State game.
Well, let's see here.
Let's hope that's not the case here.
31-yard attempt for Alec Rosenfeld. First possible score. It is long enough. It is high enough, and it is good. 9:48 to go. And that is the first score of the ball game, folks. It is Kutztown 3 and Bloomsburg nothing. You're listening to Golden Bears football on the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR.
So many hotels, too many choices. Golden Bear fans know there is only one choice, the Allentown Park Hotel Ascend Collection by Choice Hotels. Comfortable rooms, free hot breakfast, free internet, a saltwater pool, game room, social zone, and much, much more. It's good to be golden at the Allentown Park Hotel Ascend. Visit us on the web at allentownparkhotel.com for details. Let's go, Golden Bears! Kutztown University football on KUR is brought to you by J.P. Mascaro & Sons. Is your company receiving the most money for its recyclables? J.P. Mascaro & Sons' new state-of-the-art facility, Total Recycle, pays top dollar for your materials. Protect the environment and earn money. Call 1-866-66-TOTAL to have our experts give you a free estimate. By the John Monahan Realtors Group of Kutztown, providing the best real estate services in the surrounding area. Make your move with Monahan. And by East Penn, the home of Decca Battery in Lyon Station. passion for power. That's East Penn Manufacturing.
Back in Bloomsburg, 9:48 to go in the third quarter. It is 3-0. The Golden Bears getting on the board on a 31-yard field goal by Alec Rosenfeld. And, you'd like to say that's going to be enough to win this ball game the way things are going, Greg, but anything can happen between these two teams. It could end up being fireworks the rest of the way. Who knows?
It could. I mean, you haven't seen that out of Bloomsburg's offense at all, and obviously because of KU's defense. But and you haven't just seen any consistency out of KU's offense. Unfortunately, we just been making mistakes and things have broken down. As we went on the air, you'll remember, we did say that this very well could be one of those defensive slobber knockers where you just not a lot of scoring, and at this point, that's what we've got.
So Chris Monaco and Alex Gooden are deep for the Huskies. Rosenfeld will boot it away for the Golden Bears with the wind at his back. End over end kick. Be Gooden at the goal line. Gooden over the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And he is brought down after a nice return at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, that nice job by Bloomsburg staying on some blocks and sticking to him a little bit, and gave themselves a nice return to start their first drive of their next drive, I should say, at the 38-yard line. I mean, you kind of look for Bloomsburg to maybe make some adjustments. I mean, they gained 44 yards in the first half, not a whole lot on their first drive, I don't believe. They may have gone backwards. I don't know what their overall stats are now. But what adjustments are they going to make? I haven't seen much.
First and 10 from the 38. Handoff and spinning forward is Alex Gooden as he brings it up over the 40 to the 41. And Greg Reynolds is now the leading carrier for the Golden Bears. 8 carries for 45 yards after that last series. Team stats, Bloomsburg with total yards before that play. Let's see if they've even added that play on here yet.
3-yard gain.
Yeah. 25 plays, 42 yards.
So they had 39 yards going into that play if they added that one, which is less than they had at halftime.
That's correct.
Are they going to make any adjustments?
Polubinski back to pass, and he has nowhere to go with it. He throws it away incomplete.
And who's the target? Again,
Allen. Yeah.
Michael Allen.
Yep.
I mean, I have to look at every play, and I may ask the coaches when they review their tape to kind of maybe make a note. I don't know that they've thrown the ball at any other receiver besides Michael Allen.
Well, again, and if you're just joining us, this has been a tough place for the Golden Bears to play. Kutztown's last win here was 1992.
Long time ago.
It was. 3rd and 7. Polubinski back. Polubinski fires. He completes it. And no, it's incomplete.
He didn't complete the catch. Now there's a throw to a receiver that was not Michael Allen, but that was number 89, I believe, that tried to pull that in.
Aaron Allison.
Was unsuccessfully. It came down and dropped the ball, and now we've got a 4th down play. So, you'd expect somebody to come up with something offensively, a fake punt. That's what this game's kind of waiting for.
Sure.
Something that's just going to surprise the heck out of people, and so that someone can get the advantage on the other one, and just haven't seen it yet out of anybody.
Smethers back at his own 27. Sullivan deep for the Golden Bears. Good pressure. Smethers, a short punt, but it's going to take a Bloomsburg bounce and stop inside the 20 at the 18. So 8:42 to go in the third quarter. We are just past the midway point of the 2017 season for the Golden Bears. 5.5 games. 3-0 in favor of Kutztown here.
Yeah, I tell you, you'd like to think with the wind at our back here, and the wind looks like it's slowed down a little bit, just looking at those streamers on top of the goalpost, Matt. It may not be blowing quite as hard, so it may not be as big a factor here in the second half as the sun starts to go down a little bit, since it was a late afternoon homecoming start at 2:30. but you still want to take advantage of the field position you have, and maybe KU can get something rolling here. Got to go about 70, 80, 83 yards. Nice 83-yard drive will do it for us.
1st and 10 back at the 13. Receivers split out of the pistol. This is Neblett, right side 20, 25, and Neblett takes it almost to the 30-yard line. He's brought down by number 48 of Westchester. That's Jaleel Norman.
Yeah, Neblett, that's a nice job by Neblett of turning on the Jets once he got outside. And he reminds us of some of those running backs we had the last few years. Coleman, Mastromato, the guy's a little bit smaller in stature, but got some great speed, and Neblett kind of reminds you of that a little bit.
First down on the carry, out of the pistol again. There goes Neblett, showing great speed as he takes it over the 35 to about the 37-yard line, and he's going to be about a yard short of the first down. So they found something that's working here, Greg.
Well, and a lot of it also is about tempo. You see KU's plays over. They're doing some personnel change. They're back up on the line. You got some tempo going, and that's what you want on offense. The other thing you see Neblett protecting that ball when he gets near people.
There he goes again. This time he's tripped up in the backfield.
Yeah, nice defense. The defensive front that I've talked about a couple times, Ranko and Klinger, the two guys inside on the offensive guards, have done a nice job, and they pushed us back a little bit to push us back for about a 1-yard loss on that one.
3rd and 2 from the 37-yard line. Wing to the far side, receiver split. Galba working out of the shotgun, getting his play from the offensive coordinator, G.A. Mangus. Looking over again. 9 on the play clock. Handoff underneath Neblett, and Neblett is going to be about a yard shy. So you have a 4th and 1 here, Greg, and the way your defense is playing, do you take a chance here, or do you punt it away?
I think there's way too much time in the game,
I
Matt.
think you
have to, and you've got the best punter in the conference, in our opinion.
And the wind at your back.
And the wind at your back, so you have every reason to believe that Krissick will nail it. It looks like we're thinking about it. Maybe we're going to punt the ball.
Good move.
Good move. Good decision, Coach. This is one that you have every reason to believe that Krissick will nail one and give our coverage team a chance to get down there and make Bloomsburg go the length of the field. But nice job of moving the ball about 20 yards, getting the field position back, finding a couple things that worked for him.
Michael Allen is deep. Krissick, wow,
he's not
gets a boomer.
He's not getting that one.
That one is going to go into the end zone, so you're looking at a 38 and to 100 is what, 62-yard punt, Greg? No.
Yeah.
Yes.
He nailed that one real well.
62 yards.
I wish but it comes back out to the 20 though. So unfortunately,
that's okay.
It's a net 42 yards. So
the other thought there, Greg, is if you do go for it and you don't get it, and Bloomsburg gets it back, and even if they get a field goal, momentum shifts. Right now, Bloomsburg has absolutely no momentum offensively, and why give it to them?
Exactly. That's great thinking, Matt. Great thinking. I mean, KU has the momentum, if there is such a thing in this game, because it's really not been a game of momentum.
Sure.
It's just kind of been a little bit of a slugfest. But KU's got a little bit of a momentum going on right now, and hopefully we can just maintain it.
27 plays, 42 yards for the Huskies. Polubinski rolling near side. He's still rolling. He's looking. He fires, and he completes it to number 89 for a very short gain. That's Aaron Allison.
Yep.
Gain of about 4.
I thought he was just going to keep running out of bounds.
Yeah.
He's rolling out here, coming towards us, and thankfully he's okay. I know he came out of the game earlier after getting hit by Ronnie Tomasetti on a sack, and thankfully for Bloomsburg, the starting quarterback is able to be back out there. So hopefully he wasn't dinged up too much.
2nd and 6 from the 24, working from the near hash. 2 receivers to the far side, stretching it out, handoff to Kiate. Kiate breaks the tackle, has a first down and more. One of the better gains of the day, up to the 36-yard line.
Yes, it is. They actually had an overloaded front. Their tight end and their 2 receivers were both on the same side, so they did overload it pretty well on the left side of the offense, the far side of the field from us, and they were able to latch on and give Kiate a chance to to get free, and that's what you see out of Bloomsburg. They're just going to keep on doing it until they find a crack, and eventually they have had some success.
1st and 10 at the 36 now, working from the far hash, and a flag flies.
I believe an offensive lineman put his hand down and picked it back up. Technically, by rule, an offensive lineman, you cannot drop your hand below your knees and then pick it back up. Now, if you obviously take it down and put it on the ground and then pick it back up, that's considered your starting a play, and that's exactly what one of their offensive linemen did on that play.
5 minutes to go in the third quarter. It is 3-0 Golden Bears. Yes, 3-0. Rolling near side, Polubinski throws it. He completes it at the 34-yard line. Jake Perry pushes the receiver, Ethan Price, out of bounds.
Yeah, nice coverage by Jake. And, you got him in a good situation here. It's 2nd and 12. Field position is in the favor of Kutztown. But it looks like Bloomsburg is trying to do a little bit more offensively instead of just, handing the ball off. They're rolling the quarterback a little bit, but throwing some high percentage passes, and obviously, throwing it to some different targets.
2nd and 12 at the 34. Backs in the eye. Polubinski under center. He will hand it off. Right side, Coyote finds a seam and spins his way, a flag on the play as he spins his way up to the midfield stripe. Let's see where they place it. It could be just short of the first down.
I disagree with that spot way out there now.
Sure.
Now, we have the penalty, but he fell down way back on the 44.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. But that was an unbelievable spot by that referee. Unless he didn't go down. It looked like he was down on the ground. But it doesn't matter. Not worth talking about it. Third quarter, about 2/3 of the way over, Matt.
Yeah. Well, with no scoring, it's speeding along. A lot of back and forth, a lot of running, too.
Yes. Well, you always get that out of Bloomsburg teams. It's always going to be ball control and high percentage throws, and clock's going to keep ticking.
Here we go on 2nd and 20. The pass is complete on the far side, and taking the ball up to the 32-yard line is number 22 for the Huskies. Yep, Alec Gooden.
Got a lot of carries today. I'm not sure what his carries have been on the year, but he's got a lot of playing time and has been a good contributor to Bloomsburg's offense today. But, again, great job by the Kutztown defense. I mean, you had 9 or 10 of them there around him by the time there's no way he was getting free. Well, big down here, Matt. Yep. Sorry. Big down.
Gooden 7 carries for 6 yards and 1 catch for 6 yards. He's got more carries than he has yards, Greg.
They're using them a lot.
Yeah, they are. 3rd and 14. Polubinski back. Polubinski fires over the middle. A flag flies as it's incomplete at the 40. Jake Perry on the coverage. Now, what are they going to call? The flag is back in the backfield.
I think it's either a hold or a roughing the passer. I do not believe it's roughing the passer because I didn't see the quarterback go down. So I think it's going to be a hold. And all intents and purposes, coach will decline this penalty and force him to punt. I would like to think. Now, we have a guy that's a little dinged up. Chris Kimbiz is being looked at after by our athletic trainers, Randy Sacco and Brandon Nolt, taking care of Chris. Basically, a point of emphasis these days with the game is you can't get a hand up above the shoulder, can't get it up into his chin, and that's what he did. Back in our day, that used to happen. They never called that as a penalty.
That's right.
Kind of what you did. You watch some of those old Steve Sable NFL films, you see a lot of that kind of stuff.
Steve Sable. 33 plays, 69 yards for the Huskies. The Golden Bears 53 plays, 273 yards. Kutztown will be getting the ball back. 3:05 to go in the third quarter. It is Kutztown 3, Bloomsburg nothing. Again, the Golden Bears have not won here in Bloomsburg since 1992. And with one loss in the PSAC East already, and Westchester winning over Shippensburg today, the Golden Bears cannot afford to slip up. Here is a short punt that is almost a shank that goes out of bounds at around the 40. Let's see where they place it, at the 45-yard line. 45-yard line of the Golden Bears. And that's where Colin DeGalbo and the KU offense will go back to work. Maybe, Greg, that long pass to Amadou Barry, maybe they think going deep again.
Well, I think you have to go back to that at some point. Like I said, the wind is kind of iffy. You look at the streamers on the goalpost, it doesn't look like it's really that much of a factor. But biggest thing is we just got to hold on to the ball because Bloomsburg's scary. They're just that kind of team that can always bust off a big one at any time.
Sure.
So we just got to be smart with the ball, just like that.
He swings it out to Neblett, and Neblett takes it up to midfield in to Bloomsburg territory at the 49. We'll call it a gain of 6.
Yep. Sit there at 2nd and 4. Nice high percentage throw. Craig's coming back out, which is good to see. A 2-back set with him and Neblett both in there.
And Josh Lee, I was just wondering about him. He's lined up on the near side. They have not gone to him at all.
No, I don't think he's even been targeted today that I've seen.
2nd and 4. Play action. DeGalbo going deep. He has Reynolds at the 25, and Reynolds stumbles out of bounds down inside the 15 at the 11. He is very slow in getting up. I'll tell you what, Greg, get a touchdown here and get that guy out of the game for a little while.
Well, he's gimpy, and we've talked about it, and everybody's aware. Now he's hustling off the field because Kutztown's trying to stay in there. Yeah, he looks like he could use a crutch maybe. But great play on the wheel route to Craig that many of us have seen many times. Great throw by Colin DeGalbo.
1st and 10 from the 11. Neblett is tripped up as he takes the handoff. He's going to lose 2 yards. The main thing here, again, protect the football because you're in easy field goal range with the wind at your back and 2:20 to go in the quarter.
But you really don't want to rest on the field goal here, man.
No.
We've done too much of that the last couple of weeks. And honestly, I think he tripped over one of the offensive linemen's legs.
I think you're right.
I think some of our guys got pushed back. You just got to pick his feet up. Can't let one of our own guys tackle you.
Evan Culver's checking in on 2nd and 12 from the 13. Trips to the far side. Culver lined up to the right of DeGalbo. Garbarino, the tight end, lined up to the near side. He rolls right. He's looking. He fires, and it is incomplete.
Should have been intercepted.
Oh, absolutely. Looking for Diego Torres.
Yeah, thrown behind Diego. I mean, he's running to his right, and he saw a receiver that was running opposite of him, so it's hard to lead that runner when you're running kind of the opposite way. But Torres was open, and Colin just threw it behind him, and it was almost intercepted by defensive back number 8. I don't see him on the 2 deep, but 3rd down situation. Let's be smart with the ball and at least have a field goal attempt here if we need to.
DeGalbo back, firing right side for Josh Lee. He leaps, and he has a touchdown, Golden Bears.
Yes, awesome. First time that Anthony may have been targeted all day. Nice job going up high to get the ball, just like we saw other receivers for KU do today. And Josh came down with it for the touchdown. And some people may not know. I don't know if anybody knows this, but Craig Reynolds and the Lee family, they are cousins.
Wow. Okay.
They are cousins. So Josh and Anthony, who plays for our basketball team, and Craig are all cousins.
The extra point by Rosenfeld is up. It is good. 1:41 to go here in the 3rd quarter. The Golden Bears on the board on a touchdown pass from Colin DeGalbo to Josh Lee. It is Kutztown 10 and Bloomsburg nothing. You're listening to Golden Bears football on the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR.
Sheetz is proud to support the Kutztown University Golden Bears. Come to Sheetz and taste the made-to-order difference. Our 24/7 touchscreen menu is made to order fresh and offers a variety of taste bud favorites from chicken sandwiches and burgers to salads, subs, and breakfast sandwiches, all prepared with any combination of toppings you can dream up, customized to your exact specifications. Stop by after the game. Stop by anytime, all day, every day. Exercise your taste buds. There's something for everyone at Sheetz. Sheetz, feel the love.
Kelly's Sports is your apparel headquarters for Kutztown University Athletics, with store locations in Westchester and Reading and online stores at kellysteamsports.com. Kelly's offers simple setup, easy ordering, quick turnaround, and no hassles for athletic teams and organizations. You focus on winning games, Kelly's makes sure you look good doing it. Kelly's Sports, since 1972, outfitting team sports is what we do.
Here we go. We are back. 1:41 to go. Third quarter. 10-0 in favor of the Golden Bears. And Greg, that's we mentioned Josh Lee at midfield, and he ends up getting a leaping touchdown grab in the near corner of the end zone.
Yeah, nice throw. They had two very good throws on that drive by Colin DeGalbo. The wheel route to Craig Reynolds was very well thrown, as we saw Craig hobbling his way down the end zone. Down the sideline, to make that catch and stay in bounds, and then that throw, basically a fade route to Josh, who went up at his highest point and caught the ball. And we've had the pleasure, Matt, in my time of watching KU football and broadcasting, to watch just some phenomenal receiver play. We've talked about it before. One of the coaches, Steve Heck, is a part-time guy that's worked with our receivers. Really deserves a lot of credit for what those guys have done. And you see little things, reaching this ball at its highest point, all that kind of thing, catching with your hands, not with your body.
Onside kick attempt here, and Kutztown is all over it. Golden Bears recovered, and Bloomsburg was caught sleeping the recovery there by number 14, Greg. That's Naeem Navarez.
Yeah, that was a great call. I don't know if that was audible. A lot of times it can be. You go up there, you line up, all of a sudden you see something and you give a signal, whatever it might be, but great job by KU. Now you got to take advantage of it, Matt.
Yeah.
You got to take advantage of it.
That was almost a kick to the open receiver, Greg. he was totally uncovered, and Rosenfeld did a great job with the wind at his back, just pooching it over to the right side. And Navarez, I'll tell you what, initially I think he thought about real estate, running it down the right side.
Right.
But he did the smart thing and just got down on it. 1st and 10, Golden Bears at the Husky 47-yard line, slot to the near side. Back goes to Galbo, throwing near side, and it's incomplete. Intended for number 82 of the Golden Bears. That's Mason McElroy, a freshman out of Oakland, New Jersey. No? Wilson, Reading.
No.
Yep.
Wilson High School.
Yep.
Wilson High School. That was just a little underthrown. It was tough for Mason to catch it, or even the defensive back that eventually knocked it down. But that's always a great opportunity to go for the big play when you get that kind of play. You get that onside kick. Big plays always seem to work at those times.
2nd and 10, play action. DeGalbo flips it out. Neblett really has nowhere to go, and he's trouble getting back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and long.
See, that's the kind of play, and I watch a lot of teams do it. You fake a handoff to somebody in a particular direction, and then you eventually throw it to that person anyway. Well, if the linemen are working in that direction and the defense is going that direction, what makes you think that the receiver's going to have any room? You see it a lot in the NFL. You see it a lot in games you watch on TV. But theoretically, it doesn't seem like it would work, and here it didn't work because they were all over there anyway.
Sure. 3rd and 10 from the 47-yard line of the Huskies. Slot to the near side to Galbo in the shotgun. He is decked. He is decked out of nowhere back at the 45.
Yeah, number 66, that's Jake Klinger. I've called his name a few times today. He's done a nice job inside as a defensive lineman, came free. I'm not sure if someone just missed his block or if they, somebody just missed an assignment or just got beat on the right side of our offensive line, or even it could have been a running back that maybe missed the block, but.
Or did they stun him? Did they stun him in?
Yeah, it could have been a stunt. Yeah, something that screwed us up a little bit.
Nobody saw that coming. I didn't see him coming, Greg. Good pressure, but another high punt that's going to take a bounce at the 10 and roll out
inside the 5, Matt.
Yep.
3-yard line.
Wow.
Fantastic punt by Dean Krisick. Fantastic. That's kind of what we were looking for at the Westchester game last week, and unfortunately it didn't turn out that way, but that's the kind of weapon you get with a punter.
52 yards, Greg.
52-yard punt. Yep. Dean knocks it out at the 3-yard line. Now you've got a great situation, And you don't just want to relax here defensively. You want to crank it up here. Make them punt. Maybe don't even give them a couple yards. Make them punt down here, and then you're getting the ball about the 50-yard line again.
Yeah.
I mean, because a lot of times what will happen here is that everybody's like, oh, great. Next thing you know, they're driving down the field on a 97-yard drive. That's what you don't want to happen, and I'm sure Coach Clemens will do what he's got to do to defensively to make sure our guys crank it up here.
Or force a mistake. 1st and 10, back at the 3. This will be the last play, barring a penalty. Rolling right is Polubinski. He throws it and completes it to Allen up at the 15-yard line. That's a first down. That's going to do it for the quarter. As we'll take a break here. Your score: Kutztown University Golden Bears 10, the Bloomsburg University Huskies nothing. 1 quarter to go. You're listening to Golden Bears football on the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR.
Kutztown University football on KUR is brought to you by Mama's Delight Pizza, featuring fresh bread baked daily, fast delivery, daily specials, and online ordering. Visit Mama's 7 days a week in downtown Kutztown. And by Service Electric Cablevision, your foundation for family entertainment, offering lightning-fast, high-speed internet speeds, hundreds of TV channel choices, and crystal-clear phone service. Bundle and save today at secv.com.
Hilton Garden in Allentown West features everything you need for a successful trip to the Kutztown area. Located just 20 minutes from campus near Fogelsville, the Hilton Garden in Allentown West offers a complimentary shuttle for corporate travelers, friendly service, and complimentary high-speed wired and wireless internet access to make your trip to Allentown successful, whatever the reason for your visit. Meeting rooms, leisure facilities, and a delicious cook-to-order breakfast make the Hilton Garden in Allentown West the natural choice. For reservations and information, call 610-398-6686 or visit hiltongardenin3.hilton.com.
All right, we are back here. Start of the 4th quarter. Matt Santos along with Greg Bamberger, Emily Schlegel back at the KUR studios. Our engineer today is 10-0 in favor of the Golden Bears. This is one of many athletic contests happening around the university today for Golden Bear Athletics, Greg, and we understand field hockey was victorious. And
field hockey had an overtime win at IUP today, so congratulations to the field hockey team. Tennis, women's tennis lost a couple at home today, one to IUP and one to Seton Hill, and volleyball lost a tough one to one of the better teams in the PSAC, the Shippensburg, 3-1.
Here it's 1st and 10 Huskies. Handoff off the right side to Alex Gooden, and Gooden takes it to the 19-yard line for a gain of 4.
Yeah, like I said, this is something that you don't want to relax defensively. And all of a sudden, you see a team down there at the 3-yard line, you're thinking, they're not going to drive this far. Next thing you know, you're in the middle of the field, and you've lost that tremendous field position that you just gained.
Sure.
Hopefully our defense will do what they're taught to do, and hold Bloomsburg down and force them to punt here.
2nd and 6. There's Gooden right side, and he is tripped up after a short gain of about 2 yards. Let's take a look at some stats, Greg. 61 plays for 320 yards for the Golden Bears, 34 for 81 for Bloomsburg. Craig Reynolds leading the Golden Bears on the ground with 45 yards on 8 carries. Garland Galbo, 14 of 26 for 200 yards and a touchdown. Jack Pilkerton, the leading receiver, 3 catches for 44 yards. Dean Krisick, 4 punts and a 50.5-yard average.
Yeah, he is such a weapon. That sometimes just gets people forget about how valuable that punter can be in the punting game. But those that understand the game, the punting game is one of the most important parts of this game.
3rd and 3, and this is
looks like they got the first down.
Yeah, Kouyaté to the 26, so that will be a first down.
Just barely. Nice play there by Tajir Jefferson, but he was able to reach out and get that first down.
Kouyaté, 11 carries for 43 yards. Polubinski, 7 of 15 for 45 yards and a pick. Michael Allen, 4 catches for 32 yards. Luke Snyder leading the Golden Bears in tackles with 5. Nate Monroe leading Bloomsburg with 7. 1st and 10, the ball at the 26. The Huskies moving from right to left toward the west end zone here in the 4th quarter. Wind at their backs, although it looks like it is slowed down a bit. Here's a long pass, and they're going to call pass interference.
I don't understand that call at all. I don't understand that call, and that's why I'm up here and the referee's down there, I guess, but I think they're going to call a pass interference. But they do have the fact that the receiver ran out of bounds. You see the referee's hat out down there at the 39-yard line, which means that the receiver ran out of bounds on his own. Hopefully it's a picked up the flag situation, but I'm not too sure.
See if we can pick it up.
Calling.
10-yard penalty. That results in a first down.
Yeah, it's going to be a 10-yard holding penalty against Alki Cox-Cowan. Again, there was some discussion with the officials regarding that, maybe whether it was interference or holding, but that's ultimately the decision they came to. So defense got a stone up here.
First and 10 at the 35. Receivers stacked to the near side, backs in the eye. Here's a handoff, and Kuyate takes it to the 40 for a gain of 5. So Bloomsburg getting a little bit of momentum, spotted at the 39 to be exact.
Yeah, and that's what you don't want. Like I said, I mean, I keep talking about what we don't want to happen, but we're kind of watching it happen a little bit right in front of our face. So, Kutztown just needs to relax and just keep doing what they've been doing, defeating blocks, making big plays, fighting off blocks, sure tackling, a lot of good tackling today.
2nd and 6 from the 39. Polubinski rolling this way. He throws, completes it to Allen at the 39-yard line. This will be a gain of 1 as they'll mark progress at the 40.
Right. Now, this down right here, this is huge. This is huge, Matt. I mean, if the KU can come up and make this stop or not force them to 4th down, then Bloomsburg's going to have to make a decision. I mean, we're sitting here, well, you still got a long way to go, 12 minutes. Sure. But they haven't shown, I mean, they haven't had many chances on offense, and this is obviously not a chance. They're on their own 40-yard line. But maybe it's time for them to go 4-down territory.
3rd and 5, pistol, working from the near hash, 3 receivers far side. This will be a handoff, and the Golden Bears are there defensively as it'll be a gain of about, we'll call it 3, maybe 4 yards by Kuyate. Now, is this 4-down territory? Looks like the punting unit's coming on, Greg.
Looks like it is. Well, again, I'm not a head football coach, and neither are you. So, but, is that a situation where you go for it, get the first down? We have an injury for KU, like Luke Snyder.
Well, could we be looking at a potential fake here?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a great time for it. You see, defensively, our defensive players are still out there, which means normally you're going to be what's called punt safe, which is, looking for that fake punt. Because a lot of times the guys on your punt return team are not necessarily all defenders, and they're not necessarily defensive line type of people.
It was looks like he might have gotten a stinger there.
Yeah, Luke's jogging off the field, seems to be fine.
They were checking underneath his left shoulder pad.
Okay.
So maybe some kind of a stinger, or he got jammed or something, but he is off and under his own power.
But, yeah, you see, I mean, it's a 4th-down situation. The punting team for Bloomsburg is out there. But you look on the defensive side, besides the punt return guy, which I believe is Connor Sullivan, the rest of them are 10 defenders in a punt-safe situation, looking for possibly that fake. But a lot of these guys are also the kind of guys that are on a punt return team anyway.
Sure.
I mean, that's the kind of, maybe not quite these people, but this is definitely that kind of situation.
Connor Sullivan is deep. The punter is Kieran Smethers. It is 4th and 2 at the 43. There are 3 upbacks there for Bloomsburg. So you think of maybe a short snap.
One of them's Ezra. It's almost like 4 people.
Sure.
He's a large young man.
We'll go to the punter. And it's a end-over-end punt. Sullivan calls for a fair catch. back at the 13. That's where the Golden Bears will go back to work. 10:58 to go. It is 10-0 Kutztown. A reminder, fans, the Golden Bear football team returns home next week to take on the Warriors of East Stroudsburg, University Field at Andre Reed Stadium, a 12:05 p.m. kick. It will be on the air here on KUR, the simulcast of the KUTV telecast at noon. And then Greg and I head up to North Central Pennsylvania for the game against Lock Haven on the 21st. That is a 1 p.m. kick, 12:45 airtime. I'm guessing we'll see some fall colors by then, especially in that part of the state, Greg.
I would believe we would. It definitely is different up here than in our part of the state, but not quite the change that you see so far this time of year. 1st and 10, handoff. It's Craig Reynolds, and Reynolds showing some speed as he takes it close to the first down marker at the 21. I don't know what percentage of Craig Reynolds we have out there, but 75% of Craig is pretty darn good. Yeah. Definitely has made a difference in this half. Just some of his runs and falling forward as he gets tackled, and obviously what he can do out of the backfield and catching the ball. 2nd and 2. 2 receivers at the far side, 1 to the near side. DeGalbo on the option. A flag flies. He has the first down, but this is in the neighborhood of holding. Let's see. That's what it looks like, Matt. I don't know for sure, but, yeah, the way the offensive linemen are reacting from Kutztown, they have a legal chop block. I question those calls at times also, but it's where you have some guy held up high and then somebody comes in below the waist. We used to call it high-low, but back then it was legal too, so. You're allowed to do it. Now I guess it's kind of something you shouldn't do. I don't know how severe that was, but obviously that's what the officials saw, so it's obviously it can be a very dangerous situation for a defender, not expecting that hit below his waist. 2nd and 12 at the 11. No, there is a fumble. Reynolds fumbled, and it is a, let's see, I think they're going to call it down at the 1-yard line. Bloomsburg on the recovery. Just as you said, Greg, you know, you don't want to let him back in this ball game from the defensive standpoint, but here the offense has opened the door. Yeah, that's extremely disappointing. Don't know exactly what happened. Obviously, it was a handoff to Craig or a Reed. I'm not sure what the call was exactly, but it looked like Colin was trying to pull it out and Craig was trying to hold on to it, and the ball ended up on the ground. You know, Craig and Colin were trying to discuss it as they were coming off the field. Some big mistakes by the Golden Bears today. It is 10-0 Kutztown. Bloomsburg's 1st and goal at the 1. Here's a sneak. Polubinski's in for the Husky touchdown. That's disappointing, Matt, because, you know, the defense is giving up, 50 yards all flipping day. And they gave up 50 and a half yards or whatever that was. And this is back to a game that's, one score from each other, unfortunately. Got to protect that football. Yes, you do. Especially in the fourth quarter when you have a 10-point lead. Absolutely. Here's the extra point attempt by Ryan Abbott to make it a 3-point ball game. High snap. The kick is up, and it is good. Yep. So 10:03 to go in the fourth quarter. The Huskies on the board for the first time today. Your score is Kutztown 10, Bloomsburg 7. You're listening to Golden Bears football on the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR.
Americans enjoy 7 billion hot dogs between Memorial Day and Labor Day. But the great taste doesn't stop there for Kutztown University Golden Bear sports fans. Burke's hot dogs can be purchased at KU Athletics concession stands throughout the fall, winter, and spring. In addition to Frank's, Burke's offers a large selection of delicious Burke's branded hams, ring bologna, sausage, bacon, and deli meats, including ham, roast beef, and turkey breast. The Burke's brand is built on a long-standing tradition of providing excellent product quality and superior customer service. So the next time you're at the store or at KU for a game, choose Burke's, the official hot dog of KU Athletics. Camillo's Italian Restaurant and Pizzeria, located at 264 Greenwich Street near campus, is a family-owned and operated KU favorite. You'll immediately taste the difference at Camillo's, where they use fresh garlic cloves, 100% extra virgin olive oil, and sun-ripened tomatoes imported from Italy. Even though their ingredients are the best money can buy, their prices will surprise you. Camillo's has over 25 toppings, one of the largest selections, along with 8 different sauces loaded with flavor, and free piping hot delivery to your door. The taste you want at family-friendly prices. When you want a really great homemade meal, call Camillo's at 610-683-5637. That's 610-683-5637. Bon appetit.
1-yard quarterback sneak by Chris Polubinski after a Golden Bear turnover has made this a real tight situation here with 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. It's Kutztown 10, Bloomsburg 7, and the Golden Bears, again, as we mentioned, have not won here in Bloomsburg since 1992, and certainly have not helped themselves here with some of the mistakes today. Although they have the lead, they need to pretty much play flawless football the rest of the way. This was going to be taken from the goal line up over the 10, 15, to about the 18-yard line. It goes Tyshin Harmon.
Yeah, nice 20-yard return. Well, roughly right to about they got him at the 18-yard line. But now you just got to do solid things. And sometimes what you need to do is just simplify things. Don't run the read option. Just do the things that are high percentage, the things that you know you can take advantage of, the things that you feel comfortable with. I think we had that same situation. Wasn't that the same kind of play that I think they fumbled in the Westchester game? If I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right.
Same type of play. Same 2 people, if I'm not mistaken.
First and 10 from the 18, trips to the near side, play action. It's flared out, completed on the near side, up over the 20 to about the 23-yard line. A late flag comes in as it's taken by Mason McElroy out of Wilson High School in Berks County.
Yeah, they're going to call Amadou, I think, for a block in the back, but he was in contact with him the whole time, so I don't necessarily think. We got a coach down here acting like a referee. He needs to act like a coach, not a referee, the one for Bloomsburg. But, well, I think he was in contact with him the whole time. They're calling me illegal block in the back, but that's what they called. So, again, this is not where you want to make these mistakes.
No, the offense is going in the wrong direction here.
Yep.
9:49 to go. Just wanted to note that the Huskies are wearing their jersey numerals on their helmets this year. I don't recall seeing Bloomsburg going with that style, but that is the style here today. The Huskies clad in the all maroon, the Golden Bears in all white. Here is the Galbo on that read option as he takes it off the left side and gets back to the original line of scrimmage of the 18.
That's a scary play because the last few times we've run that, we fumbled the daggone thing. That time, hopefully, we did not, Colin was able to pull it out and gain some yards.
2nd and 10 at the 18. Double wing for Colin DeGalbo. His running back is Culver, I believe.
Yes, it is Culver.
DeGalbo. No, it's Reynolds. He fires out, completes it to McElroy on the far side, and up over the 25 to the 26 goes Mason McElroy, who's suddenly become a part of this offense.
Absolutely. He's actually getting some great touches. He's nice job there, gaining some yards after contact. Again, we were able to. We played with 4 wide receivers so many times, Matt. You got to have at least 5 or 6 of them ready to go.
All right. Well, here's a big 3rd down and 3 from the 26. Double wing for DeGalbo. Out of the shotgun with Reynolds in the backfield. He fires and completes it up over the 40. It's fumbled out of bounds. Are they going to call that complete?
Yes, they are.
Yes, McElroy on the reception. Do we have a new favorite target here for Colin DeGalbo?
Matt, it looks like it. It looks like a nice job by McElroy. I mean, when he came down, he rolled over. That ball did pop out. So if you watch enough NFL football, you kind of sometimes see that called incomplete because of not completing the catch, whatever the heck that seems to be.
Terrible rule, Greg, by the way.
I don't disagree. It's like the tuck rule.
First and 10 at the Kutztown 43. Double wing, handoff. This is Reynolds, and Reynolds slashes up over the 45 to the 47, gain of 4.
Yeah, nice job by Craig. I mean, obviously Craig is going to do what he can do, even with half a leg or whatever he's dealing with. They're actually going to sub him out right now, bringing in Neblett and Culver.
Second and 6 at the 47. Slot to the near side. Backs lined up on either side of DeGalvo out of the shotgun. It's Neblett and Culver. Going with the 5-man line are the Golden Bears. Handoff underneath Neblett, left side, up over midfield, down to the 49. Nice run.
Yeah, nice run by Abdul Hassan Neblett. And as the game's going on, you've seen him get a little bit more confident, running a little more energy, a little more speed. The young man is down for Bloomsburg. Hopefully he is okay. Our medical staff is addressing his needs at this point until the Bloomsburg medical staff gets over there, which they are now.
Number 42, Ezra Ranko, who's been
been all over the field today. He's made quite a few plays, and like I said, he's a young man that's been out, so maybe he's got an old injury that may have just flared up. I don't know why he was out earlier in the year, but this coaches did say this is his first game back, so he's definitely a young man you got to worry about. Is a large one.
Well, he's been quite a force, Greg. Yep. Nine tackles to lead the way today for the Huskies. Take a look at some of the numbers here for the.
What's the penalty count?
Penalties. Let's take a look at our penalty situation here. It is 5 penalties for 39 yards for the Huskies, 6 penalties for 63 yards for the Golden Bears.
Well, that's because we had a couple big ones in there, unfortunately.
So now Kutztown's faced with a 3rd and 3 from midfield. 7 minutes to go. The Golden Bears leading Bloomsburg 10-7. A venue Kutztown has not won at since 1992.
Yeah, but they don't know that, man.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Our guys don't know that.
Yes. Coach Clements, pre-game, it was the first thing he said.
Oh, did he? Okay. So I did not. Pre-game to you or to the team?
To me.
Well, I'm talking about the team.
Well, would he not use that for motivation? To which I said to him, Greg, I was here in 1992 when the Golden Bears pulled off that 7-10 win, so he had to give me a fist pump for good luck. All right, third and 3 from midfield. Receivers.
Got to make good decisions here. Got to be sure with the ball. Like Coach Mangus is changing the formations, changing the strength. 10 on the play clock.
Garbarino shifts to the near side. Yeah. Slot to the near side with 3 receivers. The Galbo back under pressure. Dumps it off, and it's incomplete. But I think we have what do we have down here? Flags fly.
Yeah, I think you're going to have 1 or 2 holding penalties, unfortunately. Bloomsburg's defensive line came free pretty easily. Yes. And DeGalbo was thrown off his back foot, which actually works. They can decline it. We go 4th down, or they knock us back. I'm not sure. We'll see what Coach Dara decides to do. So they did decline it, 4th and 3. What do you think here, Matt?
Punt.
Okay.
6:29 to go.
You and Coach Clements are on the same page.
Your defense again is.
They're playing fantastic.
Except when you backed them into a corner.
We give it to them at the half-yard line.
Yeah.
No defense can stop that. Well, maybe Reggie White and Jerome Brown and those guys. But we don't have Reggie White and Jerome Brown playing for us.
No. Krisick gets it away under pressure. It's a high end-over-end punt, and it's going to be fair caught at about the 24-yard line with 6:23 to go. 10-7 Golden Bears. Still a lot of football left to be played here, and it'll be interesting to see. I think the good thing off of that last drive, Greg, is that the Kutztown offense was able to move the ball out of the shadow of its own goalpost.
Yeah, that was a great job of just getting the field position back. And now defense just has to keep doing what they're doing. Bloomsburg has shown no no ability to put together a sustained drive, and it's really because of the defense of Kutztown.
Polubinski out of the shotgun, play action, dropping back plenty of time, fires over the middle. He had a man at the 40, but is incomplete off of his knee. Ethan Price, the sophomore out of Coopersburg, Southern Lehigh High School.
Yeah, that was one that actually looked like he got down low enough and the ball just kind of got to his hands and his knee at the same time, and the knee won. Can't catch with your knees.
No.
Got to use your hands.
2nd and 10 now from the 24.
But that's not the kind of stuff that Bloomsburg normally does. I mean, they're not a throwing wide open offense. That's not what they do.
They don't need to necessarily throw it yet, although the clock is starting to become a factor. Polubinski, play action, fires it, completes it to Allen, who is pushed out of bounds at the 33-yard line. It's going to be about a yard short of the first down, and here's a important third down situation, maybe 2-down territory here now for the Huskies.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's one heck of a spot. One heck of a spot. He just moved it back half a yard. Now they're going to measure. I didn't think that was anywhere close.
No, he certainly did step out short of the 34 by a yard, I thought, Greg.
Yeah, I did not see that kind of spot at all, but
what we're likely to see here is a sneak by Polubinski. That's what they did down at the goal line.
I would have to think so, and then they're short by a half a yard. What you thought. And that's what you'll see. And then, of course, today it is legal for running backs and fullbacks and other people to push a running back from behind, where in the past that was not legal. So when you have these kind of situations, as long as your offensive lineman gets any kind of movement at all, your quarterback and your running backs can all, I mean, you're trying to stop 11 guys pushing you back. That's extremely difficult as a defensive front. That's most necessarily what you're going to see.
Sure. 3rd and 1 at the Bloomsburg 33, short yardage package, back in the eye. Polubinski under center and flags everywhere. Kutztown's pointing the other direction.
I think number 60 for Bloomsburg moved.
This is a legal motion. I just saw it by the official, Greg. This is a big penalty.
I think they're discussing it, and hopefully we don't come back with one of our guys made some kind of call. But number 60 jumped, without a doubt.
The umpire called a legal procedure and pointed towards Bloomsburg initially.
Yep. What I have a hard time believing is it takes that long to discuss that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what else it could have been. I mean, are they asking whether? I mean, the umpire's the one, if you remember earlier in the game, where Bloomsburg had one of our, Garbarino jumped because one of their guys, made a call which simulated a snap count, which was the delayed game penalty early in the game. I didn't know if maybe that's something they were discussing. Thankfully not.
Well, here we go. 3rd and 6 now from the 28. The dynamics have changed completely. Kutztown needing to come up with a stop, and then what? What does Bloomsburg do on 4th? We'll see if it happens. Polubinski back, under pressure, fires over the middle. It's complete, and this is a big gainer. 50, 40, 30. Allen chased out of bounds, down inside the 25-yard line to the 23. Biggest gain of the day for the Huskies.
Better off with the 3rd and short, Matt, to be honest with you. Because they wouldn't have done the big play. They would have had a quarterback sneak, so it would have been 1st and 10 way back here on the 35 and not 1st and 10 on the flipping 23. As we talked earlier, Michael Allen is the target they like to go to, and there they did, and he was able to get free for a big game.
1st and 10, the ball at the 23-yard line now with the Golden Bears. 10-7, Kutztown with 5:19 to go. Polubinski back. He is going deep down the near sideline and throws it over everyone's head, incomplete.
Well, that'd be good if he keeps throwing those kind of balls, because I don't think that's the strength of his game. Plus, you got the wind at your back, and that's hard to make those throws exactly accurate. That's for sure.
2nd and 10 from the 23. The shadow of the press box has taken over a good part of the middle of the field to the far hash here on this late afternoon in early October. 2nd and 10 from the 23. Slot to the far side, 2 backs. Here's a handoff. Kiate has nowhere to go as he's knocked back to the 25-yard line, loss of 2.
Yeah, great job there by Steve Plausis and Chris Kimbiz. That whole defensive front has just been playing above and beyond these last couple of games, and that was another great example right there, just inverting that defensive line for Bloomsburg. And I did get a shout-out on my Reggie White and my Jerome Brown content from our former FAR, Professor Tom Grant, who's, playing golf as a retired faculty member now, so I'm sure he'll enjoy his shout-out. Thanks for listening, Tom, and hope you're enjoying your golf down there in South Carolina.
3rd and 12.
North Carolina.
From the 25, slot to the far side. Out of the shotgun, Polubinski with time. He is throwing deep over the middle, and it's picked off! It's picked off at the goal line. It is picked off 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, up to midfield.
Sean Turber Ortiz.
Again,
with number 5.
Wow.
Number 5. Give him a plug for PSAC Defensive Player of the Week, maybe, if we can pull this thing off.
Well, no kidding, Greg.
Oh, my goodness.
How similar was that pick to the play at Westchester last week going in the other direction?
Yep.
We saw that Westchester receiver wide open.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, that's what Polubinski saw. When he fired that over the middle, I saw that receiver in the end zone, and I thought, oh, no. And then Turber Ortiz comes out of nowhere, picks it off, not only picks it off, but gives the Golden Bears great field position.
Fantastic. Now we just got to be smart with the ball, Matt. Smart with the ball.
1st and 10 at the Husky 48, 4:11 to go. 10-7 Golden Bears. Neblett on the carry, right side. Neblett, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. Out of bounds inside the 10-yard line goes Abdul Hassan Neblett.
That's the kind of stuff he can do, Matt. You just got to get him free. You got to get him free. The kid's got great wheels. He just have not been able to get him free. And you've seen this entire game. He's just gotten a little stronger, a little more confident. All that stuff has happened. You're just watching it right in front of you. Nice job by Abdul Hassan Neblett on that carry. And great job by the left side of that offensive line to get him free.
1st and goal at the 7-yard line of Bloomsburg, 3:48 and counting. The Golden Bears have the clock on their side right now. Out of the shotgun, play action. There goes DeGalbo, left side, 10-5. Colin DeGalbo in for the Golden Bear touchdown, and you might be able to stick a fork in the Bloomsburg Huskies here at home for the first time since 1992, Greg.
Great job by DeGalbo. Great call by Coach Mangus. Great call.
Absolutely.
Had everybody going one direction, found something on the edge. He had a couple running back or blockers right in front of him. And a nice job by Colin getting it in there. Obviously, this kick is big. Put us up by 10 if we can. Should that not be an issue, we hope. And then the defense just need to keep doing what they're doing here for the next 3 minutes and 36 seconds.
Alec Rosenfeld out of the hold of DeGalbo. The kick is, it hits the upright. It hits the upright. No good. Hopefully that doesn't come back to haunt the Golden Bears. 3:36 to go in the fourth quarter. Your score, Kutztown 16, Bloomsburg 7. You're listening to Golden Bears football on the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR.
In 1923, David Javich opened a two-man butcher shop called the Carlisle Meat Market. The mission of Giant Supermarket remains the same today as it did on opening day: offer the best products at the fairest price. With more than 200 stores, Giant has grown to become one of the largest grocers in the region. Giant's commitment starts and ends with you, the customers. For over 90 years, Giant has worked to provide you with unmatched selection, quality, and value every time you visit one of our stores. Golden Bear fans, be sure to visit Giant's new 50,000 square foot store, open 24 hours daily, just a half-mile west of campus on Kutztown Road. Giant. Quality, selection, and savings. The Center at Holiday Inn is pleased to be a continuing partner of Kutztown University. We are a short drive from their beautiful campus, and our expert staff and spacious facility awaits you and your guests. Whether enjoying a freshly made-to-order breakfast in our America restaurant or digging into the famous short ribs at the Sam Adams Brewhouse, your experience at the hotel will be amazing. If you are relaxing in your spacious guest room or outside by the pool, you will unwind knowing that we have taken care of every detail of your stay. Good luck, Golden Bears, from your partners at the Center at Holiday Inn.
3:36 to go here in the fourth quarter. The Golden Bears turn this thing around just when you thought Bloomsburg was going to go down and either tie this game, possibly go ahead. A pick at the goal line and a great return by the Golden Bears, Sean Turner Ortiz out of Northumberland, Shikellamy High School, brings it back to midfield, and then you get Abdul Hassan Nevlet with a big run, Colin DeGauble with a touchdown run, a missed extra point, 3:36 to go. The Golden Bears leading 16-7. Now, I said you might be able to stick a fork in the Bloomsburg Huskies, Greg. You want to clarify? Let's clarify. I said you might. I'm thinking the way the Golden Bears defense is playing that I feel fairly confident. But you know what? Let's wait and see what happens. Here is a short pooch kick into the wind, and it's going to be taken by the up back to about the 35-yard line. So Bloom will have decent field position, but now you force them in a situation where they have to throw.
Yeah, and they're not comfortable doing that. That's not traditionally what they like to do. They're down 9. They need 2 scores. Still have all 3 timeouts, as does Kutztown. But, I have to agree with you, Matt. The way this defense is playing, they can just keep doing what they're doing. They've given up one play of any kind of significance, and that was that big pitch and catch to Michael Allen in that last drive. They keep doing what they're doing and keep tackling the way they are, then I think you can start to shine the fork up a little bit.
1st and 10. Rolling to the near side, Polubinski. He throws it picked off. Jake Perry at the 45. He turns back up, still on his feet. 40, 35, 30, 25, still on his feet at the 20, and he's chased out of bounds. Now, all right, fork.
Well, let's score first.
Bloomsburg does have 3 timeouts.
Yes, they do. And we have shot ourselves in the foot a lot of times today. And what did we talk about a little bit earlier, Matt? We talked about somebody's got to come up with a big play. Someone's got to come up with a big play. Who came up with the big play?
The defense.
The defense did, and that's okay.
That's fine.
It's fine with us.
Yep.
We had offense had a few big plays in the first half. Turber Ortiz with that interception, and then Jake Perry with that interception should hopefully give us a chance to break the forks out here in a minute.
1st and 10 at the 19 of Bloomsburg. The running back is Reynolds. Reynolds takes it, pushes the pile down over the 10 to the 13-yard line. Kutztown 16, Bloomsburg 7. The Golden Bears not winning here at Bloomsburg since 1992. That was half my life ago, Greg, in my first year at Kutztown. 2nd and 4 from the 13. Wing to the far side. The Golden Bears can certainly burn the play clock here, which is down to 14. 2:34 and counting. Bloomsburg will have to think about using timeouts very soon. DeGalbo is going to take it himself. DeGalbo left side, flag flies as DeGalbo takes it down over the 10.
Yeah, it's another hold. I think it's going to be on the offensive line. I think that's about 5 holding penalties or 6 on us today. It does happen. Those are aggressive penalties. They obviously can be drive killers, and right here it's not doing anything more than allowing us to maybe run some more time off the clock is what it does.
That's what it does.
We don't need the score.
Right.
If you needed to score, it would be a little bigger factor. And I think we don't really have to score. All we got to do now is hold on the ball and let the clock run.
Yeah.
That's what we got to do. So it doesn't really hurt you here in that sense.
The last time...
Crowd, a lot of them have left, Matt.
The last time Kutztown has beaten Bloomsburg back-to-back, Greg, that's something we need to look at. Flags fly again. Now they're getting a little sloppy down there.
Yeah, I think the right tackle for us, Tyler Pancari. He jumped. Defensive guys for Bloomsburg. Now, we don't want to keep going backwards and run all that clock off now. He jumped a little bit as the Bloomsburg guys were moving. Now it looks like Bloomsburg is going to call a timeout.
Golden Bears are definitely, if anything, working that clock. 2 minutes, 1 second to go. It is 16-7 in favor of the Golden Bears. The last time Kutztown beat Bloomsburg in back-to-back years was the 91-92 season. So if that does happen, KU is able to hold on and win today. It would be the first time that they've won here since 92 and the first time they've won a back-to-back since 91-92 after the win last year at University Field Andre Reed Stadium. The Golden Bears return home next Saturday, fans. The East Stroudsburg Warriors come to town for Pink Zone Day, 12:05 p.m. kickoff, University Field Andre Reed Stadium. It will be on the air here on KUR at noon, the simulcast of the KU TV telecast. And then 2 weeks from today, Greg and I will be coming to you live on KUR from North Central Pennsylvania as the Golden Bears travel to Lock Haven to take on the Ball. The Eagles, a 1 p.m. kick. We will take the air at 12:45. And thus far today, I can only call this, although it hasn't been a very clean effort at times, a valiant effort by a Kutztown team that has their star player, Craig Reynolds, at partial speed and a defense that has just played lights out today for the most part, Greg.
Oh, absolutely they have. The defense has been phenomenal. I don't know what the total yardage situation is now. I think you're pulling it up on your screen there, Matt.
48 for 157.
I mean, we're holding Bloomsburg to less than, four, almost, low 4 yards per play, or 3 yards per play.
Yep.
That's amazing.
2nd and 19, back at the 28, handoff. This is Reynolds who takes it down to the 20-yard line. Nice gain, pickup of 8, and there's another timeout by the Bloomsburg Huskies with 1:55 to go, trailing 16-7 to the Golden Bears.
And that's the kind of thing that Craig can do, even not 100%. On that play, people that have watched KU football have seen it 100 times. Is he takes his time and he pauses and he hesitates until he sees something, then he accelerates as best he can. He's not 100%. There's no question about it. But even someone not at 100%, he's still able to rip off 8 yards and put us in a situation here where we can gain a few more yards. And I would assume that depending on what happens here, that we would make a field goal attempt. And for all intents and purposes, should be able to make that one. And make it eventually, hopefully, even a 12-point lead, which would be good. But let's see what happens here. Bloomsburg's trying to buy as much time as they can.
Sure.
Less than 2 minutes to go. Obviously, they're going to be hitting at the ball and smacking at the ball and doing the things they have to do. But this result holds. Obviously, it's great for the Kutztown program. If this result holds, it'll actually create a three-way tie in second place in the PSAC East between Shippensburg, Bloomsburg, and Kutztown, with Westchester holding the lead in the conference at this point at 3-0. If this result stays the way it is.
Westchester did beat Shippensburg earlier today. A bit of a shootout. Here is Culver. Fakes the reverse, left side, 15-10. Culver on his feet, 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, Golden Bears.
Nice play. That's a great play call. Great play call. Nice fake reverse. That may be Culver's first touchdown of the year. Am I right about that, Matt? I'm not 100% sure, which is good for him because that's a young man that did not play last year, had a tremendous high school career at Saucon Valley High School, has really been coming along slowly. I can see him having some fun with his teammates on the sideline, celebrating the touchdown. And if that's his first one, congratulations to Evan to make that happen for himself.
Rosenfeld puts it up and through this time, 1:48 to go. Your score is Kutztown 23, Bloomsburg 7. You're listening to Golden Bears football on the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR.
To get the most up-to-date and in-depth information about the Kutztown University Golden Bears, visit KU Athletics online at kubears.com. KUbears.com features extensive coverage for all 21 of Kutztown University's NCAA varsity sports. The website also features video content and allows fans to follow select games through live statistics. Be sure to check out the Kutztown Golden Bears at kubears.com. Go Bears, go!
Avalanche, Kutztown University's very own mascot, is available to appear at your event. Whether it's a birthday party, grand opening, or town parade, inviting Avalanche will add in extra fun and entertainment for people of all ages. Also, kids can join Avalanche's Golden Bear Cub Club, which allows them to become junior members of the KU team. Make everyone's experience golden by visiting kutztown.edu/avalanche. Once again, that's kutztown.edu/avalanche.
A minute 48 to go. Matt Santos, Greg Bamberger, as the Golden Bears now have a commanding 23-7 lead here at Bloomsburg, a place KU has not won since 1992. And here in front of the Golden Bears have silenced this homecoming crowd.
We ran them out of town.
Absolutely.
This was a full Redmond stadium when this started, and a very energetic homecoming crowd. But they have since dissipated. Kutztown has been able to eventually take control of this game here in the middle of the fourth quarter.
Well, here's some interesting stats, Greg. As let's get through the kickoff, and then I'm going to throw some interesting stats at you that we may not have even realized from an offensive standpoint. Rosenfeld's kick is end over end. It'll be taken at the 9-yard line and returned out over the 20, 25, and spun down at about the 30-yard line is Alex Gooden. Now, here's some interesting stats. Craig Reynolds has over 100 all-purpose yards, 60 yards rushing, and then he has receiving. The big catch that he had was 38 yards. So even in his limited state, he's got 100 all-purpose yards. You have 67 rushing yards for Neblett. You have 60 for Reynolds, 53 for Culver, and 33 for DeGalbo.
A lot of balance.
Okay. You want to talk about balance. I'm going to give you one here after the 1st and 10 from the 30 for the Huskies. This is pretty interesting coming up. Slot to the near side. Polubinski back. He throws it incomplete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 different receivers, including Colin DeGalbo, who did catch his own pass. But let's take that out. So 8 different receivers have been involved in the offense today. They've spread it around. The most catches is 3 by Pilkerton and Neblett.
Yeah, they definitely spread it around. I didn't realize that until you just showed me that, Matt. It wasn't focused on one guy.
Defensively, Tajir Jefferson leading the way with 7 tackles. Cox Cowan with 6. Snyder with 6. Polubinski back on 2nd and 10. Fires it incomplete on the near side, intended for Allen. 1:32 to go. And, of course, the 2 interceptions by Turner Ortiz.
Yeah, Kutztown ended up with 2 turnovers today, which brings us up to 5 total for the year, which still has to be some of the best in the country after 6 games, less than 1 turnover a game. We've taken it away. I don't know what our turnover margin is, but it has to be one of the better ones in the conference and within the country.
3rd and 10 from the 30. Polubinski back under pressure, now rolls, looking. He's going to take it himself, 35. He's chased out of bounds at about the 39-yard line.
Just short of the first down. So that's going to put him in a 4th down situation. I would imagine that Coach Dara will go for it here. And I would imagine if he does, then Coach Clements, if they don't get it and we take the ball over, this would be eventually be a kneel-down situation. You probably wouldn't even need a first down with minute 20 to go or so. They are going for it.
4th and 1 from the 39-yard line. Working out of the shotgun is Polubinski. He drops back. He's looking. He fires incomplete. No one near that ball.
He overthrew Aaron Allison, I believe, number 89 for Bloomsburg. You overthrew him. So now Kutztown will get the ball back at the plus 39-yard line in a position to be able to just Won't even need a first down. Probably can just do kneel downs and be good with that.
Looking for turnover margin. I don't see it there, Greg, but I thought it was plus 10 coming in. So 1:18 to go.
Yep.
The Golden Bears take over with a 1st and 10 at their own 39. Bloomsburg has one timeout left. I don't know if they'll even bother at this point.
I don't know that he will. I mean, Coach Dara's been doing it a long time. It's kind of a waste of time. Obviously, we are in victory formation, as they call it. Be one kneel down. Coach Dara is not calling the timeout, so it's just going to be a matter of sorry about that, Matt. Just going to be a matter of snapping it one more time once that clock gets underneath 40 seconds.
2nd and 11. Back at the 41-yard line, inside a minute now. It has to feel good to be in white, maroon, and gold today.
It is.
It's been a long
Absolutely.
time, a quarter of a century since the Golden Bears have won here in Bloomsburg. DeGalvo takes the snap, kneels.
And that's, as long as Bloomsburg's not going to call a timeout, so it's game over. 30 seconds or so, keep running down. Do not have to run another play. Congratulations to the Golden Bears. That's a fantastic win for the program. Fantastic.
Absolutely, in front of a homecoming crowd with your star player banged up.
Yes.
Still contributes, but it was a gutsy performance by the Golden Bears, and we are a few seconds away from this becoming official as the final 4 seconds tick off the clock, and that is going to do it. The Golden Bears of Kutztown defeat Bloomsburg by a score of 23-7. We are going to take a break, our final break of the day, and then we'll come back to wrap things up here from Bloomsburg. The Golden Bears win by a score of 23-7. You're listening to Golden Bears football on the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR. Back right after this.
In addition to the online home for Kutztown University Athletics, KUBears.com, there are several ways to follow the Golden Bears through social media. Find out about KU Athletics on Twitter by following @KU Golden Bears. Become a fan on Facebook by searching for and liking Kutztown University Athletics. Finally, check out how to sign up for email and mobile phone updates at KUBears.com. Stay in touch with the Kutztown Golden Bears.
Show your maroon and gold pride. Be sure to check out Kutztown Athletics apparel across various outlets in Lehigh and Berks counties. KU Golden Bears gear can now be purchased at Walmart in Temple and Boscov's in Berks County and the Lehigh Valley. Also, Kutztown gear is available at the official headquarters for KU Gear, the KU Student Bookstore located on the scenic KU campus. Make sure to stock up on your maroon and gold apparel this fall and be ready for the new year.
Back in Bloomsburg as the late afternoon sun starts to make its way down in the distance. The Golden Bears of Kutztown with a 23-7 win over the Huskies. And with the win, the Golden Bears will improve to 4-2 on the year, 2-1 in the Eastern Division of the PSAC. Bloomsburg sees its 4-game win streak snapped. They fall to 4-2 and 2-1. Let's take a look at the final stats before we give you our final thoughts on this one. First downs, the Golden Bears had 19, just 7 for Bloomsburg. On the ground, KU 47 rushes, 209 yards. Bloomsburg 27 rushes for 62 yards. Through the air, the Golden Bears had 233 yards, 104 for Bloomsburg. Total offense, 77 plays, 442 yards for the Golden Bears. Bloomsburg, 52 plays, 166 yards. Pretty interesting. Interceptions, the Golden Bears had 3. They returned them 80 yards. Fumbles, Kutztown had 2 and lost them both. Bloomsburg had 2, didn't lose any. Penalties, there were quite a few. 8 for 78 against the Golden Bears, 6 for 44 for Bloomsburg. Time of possession fell in favor of Kutztown, 35-04 to 24-56. In third down situations, Kutztown was 8 of 18. Bloomsburg was 4 of 15. Both teams were 0 for 1 on fourth downs. In the red zone, Kutztown 4 of 6 with certainly a missed opportunity late at the end of the first half. Bloomsburg just 1 for 1. Individual stats for the Huskies. Kumac Kuyate, 14 carries, 50 yards along of 12. Alex Gooden, 9 carries for 13 yards. Through the air for the Huskies, Chris Polubinski, 10 of 25 for 104 yards and 3 picks along of 49. He was sacked just once. Receiving, Michael Allen with a decent day, 7 catches, 91 yards along of 49. Gooden, Allison, and Price had 1 catch each. Kieran Smethers, the punter, 8 for a 35.2-yard average, 2 inside the 20. Kick returns, Alex Gooden had 2 for 59 to lead the Huskies, and defensively, Nate Monroe and Ezra Ranko had 9 tackles each. Each had a half a sack, and each had a tackle for loss. For the Golden Bears, leading the way on the ground, Abdul Hassan Neblet, 12 carries, 67 yards along of 37. Craig Reynolds, 13 carries, 60 yards. Evan Culver, 10 for 53 and a touchdown, his second touchdown of the year. Yep. Colin DeGalbo, 10 carries, 12 yards, and a touchdown. Through the air, DeGalbo, 17 of 30, 233 yards, and 1 touchdown along of 48. He was under pressure quite a bit and sacked 3 times today. Receiving, we said it was spread around to 9 different receivers, one by accident, of course, with DeGalbo. But Jack Pilkerton had 3 catches for 44 yards. Mason McElroy, 3 for 33. Abdul Hassan Neblet, 3 for 8. And we should mention Josh Lee, who we'll hear in the scoring recap, had a big touchdown catch. Another MVP today, Dean Krissick, the punter. 5 punts, 228 yards, a 45.6-yard average, a long of 62, 1 inside the 20, and 3 touchbacks. No punt returns today for
one
Bloomsburg.
Inside the 20 is the one that rolled out on the 3-yard line. That was huge.
That was.
Huge punt.
Punt returns, Connor Sullivan, 1 for 6. Kick returns, Tyshawn Harmon, 1 for 18. Defensively for the Golden Bears, Akee Cox-Cohen, 7 tackles to lead the way, along with Tajir Jefferson, who had 7 tackles, 1 for a loss. Luke Snyder with 6 tackles, 1 for a loss. Jalen Nieves, 5 tackles with 1.5 for a loss. And we have to mention, of course, Sean Turner-Ortiz and Jake Perry with some big interceptions today. Let's look at the scoring recap, and it was quite an interesting one. No score at all in the first half. The Golden Bears had the ball inside the 5-yard line with a few seconds left. DeGalbo ended up getting sacked, and it was 0-0 at the half. We're not sure when the last time KU featured a scoreless half by both teams, but we had one here today in Bloomsburg. In the third quarter, the Golden Bears got on the board on a 31-yard field goal by Alec Rosenfeld, 9 plays, 36 yards, 3 minutes and 21 seconds. Gave the Golden Bears that 3-0 lead, and then went up 10-0 with 1:41 to go in the quarter. Josh Lee on a 13-yard pass in the left corner from Colin DeGalbo. The kick was good, a 5-play, 55-yard drive. 1:18 it took, 10-0 Golden Bears. Then a big mistake, a fumble, down inside the 1-yard line on the exchange between DeGalbo and Craig Reynolds. Chris Polubinski plunged it in for Bloomsburg from a half-yard out. The kick was good. 4-second drive made it 10-7 in favor of the Golden Bears. And then just when you think Bloomsburg is going to claw its way back into this one, the pick by Turner-Ortiz, the Golden Bears go back down with 3:36 to go, an 11-yard run around the left side by Colin DeGalbo. The kick failed. 2 plays, 48 yards, 35 seconds in duration. It made it 16-7 in favor of the Golden Bears, and then 1:48 to go. The icing on the cake, Evan Culver, a 21-yard run. Alec Rosenfeld, the kick, 3 plays, 19 yards, 126, 23-7 victory in favor of the Golden Bears. And again, maybe the most impressive part of this is that KU just does not win here at this stadium, and to do it for the first time in a quarter century is you got to be proud of that. And I'm sure Coach Clemens has told the locker room about that in postgame, Greg.
Oh, I'm sure he had a little conversation with the team afterwards and told them exactly how big this win was for the program. Kutztown has not had success here, as we've reiterated over the day, and obviously got it done today. It was the kind of game we thought we would see. Maybe not some of the mistakes and maybe play that wasn't, as quality as we would like to have seen, but it was 2 hard-nosed, blue-collar teams that got after it. They knocked each other's heads around pretty good. defensive battle for the most part. Neither offense really could do anything to score. I mean, Bloomsburg couldn't do anything, period. But Kutztown could do some things, just couldn't score. Kept shooting themselves in the foot. But this win hopefully will lead to obviously continuing to have some positive experience the next couple of weeks, starting with the home next week against East Stroudsburg and going from there. The East race is tight. It's always going to be tight. The four teams that played head-to-head today, us, Bloomsburg, Shippensburg, and Westchester, were picked as the top four teams in the conference. And halfway through the season, the conference season, for the most part, these are the four teams at the top. So the prognosticators were correct. Obviously, there's a lot to work on still. I'm sure Coach Mangus is not happy with some of the inconsistency of the offense, and defensively, heck, I don't know. They didn't do a whole lot of stuff wrong.
Right.
Did not do a whole lot wrong other than gave up one big play to Michael Allen there in the fourth quarter, and that was it.
Right.
That was it.
Absolutely.
So defense and that sometimes can be a curse because, it's like, okay, what do we got to get better at? Well, obviously, East Stroudsburg is going to bring in different challenges that we're going to have to be ready for, but if they can just maintain that consistency, and there's always mistakes that everybody makes, I'm sure they're going to find those and work to improve those. Offensively, you have to be a little concerned. Not so much that, I don't mean concerned to the point where, you got to make changes, but just that we haven't had that flow, that maybe we had early in the year and that we developed last year when, Colin became our starting quarterback and Craig started to get rolling. Now, obviously, Craig's not healthy, and a few others are a little bit dinged up, and we've got new receivers we're breaking in, a new offensive line we're breaking in. That's a big part of things. But you started to see some things click towards the end, and I know Coach Mangus will continue to work hard and get that offense to continue to click. I mean, heck, we scored 62 points against somebody earlier this year, so obviously we were doing something right early in the year, and not that we're going to score that every week, of course, but I look forward to what KU can do the rest of the year, and maybe we'll still have a chance to host that championship game. We're just going to have to win all out, and somebody's going to have to knock off Westchester at some point.
Well, and the best chance for that, Craig, maybe next week as these very Bloomsburg Huskies travel down to Westchester for a noon kickoff, because after that you got Westchester at Cheney, Westchester hosting East Stroudsburg, and then going to Millersville. So I think you've got to get your Bloomsburg Husky shirt out next week, and if you're a Golden Bear fan, and I know there's still a long way to go, but from what we've seen so far, next week might be the best chance for Kutztown to be able to catch up with Westchester. Speaking of that, there was a bit of a wager today between the new Bloomsburg president, Bashar Hanna, who's the former dean at Kutztown, and the provost of Kutztown University, Ann Zayitz, that the winner would have to wear the opponent's T-shirt, and I think Dr. Hanna will be wearing the Golden Bears T-shirt once again, like he did when he was a Golden Bear.
The colors are similar. We just make sure that has a big KU on the front of it.
Well,
I'm sorry, KU with the bear head. I'm sorry,
that's
Matt.
right.
Sorry, Matt.
Kutztown University. Right.
Kutztown University, my mistake.
Right.
As long as it's got a big Kutztown University and a big bear head in the middle of it, then hopefully Dr. Hanna will wear that around Bloomsburg campus proudly. Hopefully.
Yeah. So a nice win for the Golden Bears again. Next week is a new week, and you have to hope that being able to return home to play in front of the home crowd. East Stroudsburg, mid-October. We're getting into the heart of football season here. That maybe some of the like the Craig Reynolds of the world can heal up, and Kutztown could come out and be a little bit healthier next week, at least offensively, when they take on the Warriors of East Stroudsburg. So that is going to do it for us for today. A big win for the Golden Bears. Kutztown defeats Bloomsburg by a score of 23-7. Golden Bears are 4-2 now on the year, 2-1 in the PSAC East. The first win here at Bloomsburg since 1992. I know I've said it many times, but it is worth repeating. So for Emily Schlegel back in the studios, my partner Greg Bamberger, I'm Matt Santos. Again, next week's kickoff is at 12:05 at University Field. You can hear it here on KUR beginning at noon, the simulcast from KUTV. Greg and I return to the air in 2 weeks out at Lock Haven. That will be a 1 p.m. kickoff We will be on the air at 12:45. So your final, once again, here from Bloomsburg, Kutztown 23, Bloomsburg 7. You have been listening to Golden Bears football on the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR. Good night and have a great weekend, everyone.
Thank you for listening to this presentation of Kutztown University Golden Bear football on the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR. Today's game was brought to you by Kutztown University Radio and the corporate partners of Kutztown University Athletics. For more information, visit the KUR website at kutztown.edu/KUR and the KU Athletics website at kubears.com. Kutztown University football on KUR has been a presentation of the Golden Bear Network. We thank you for listening.